John 5:39. We get praise and esteem and honor to the Most High YAHUAH Yashar'al today. John 5:39. You can get Exodus 15. 15 and probably about 11.
Oh, yeah.
John chapter 5, verse 39. Go ahead, sir.
John 5:39. Hey, search the scriptures,
For
for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me.
What else?
And you will not come to me that you may have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you.
And we were discussing last evening, knowing the Son is the key to eternal life, so you have to search it out. Because if you don't know Him, that's what I was explaining to that young man last night. That if you don't know the root, if you don't know the Son, how could you be able to receive the Lord? Thank you, sir. It'd be impossible for you to do that. It'd be impossible. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people say a lot of things, but they just be talking though. Exodus 15 and 13. Troy, get me Psalm 65 and 3.
You want 11 and 13?
Give me 11. Exodus 15 and 11.
Who is like unto thee, O Yahuwah?
Who is what?
Who is like unto thee,
Who
O
is like
Yahuwah?
you?
Among the gods.
Among the gods.
Who is like thee, glorious in set apartness, fearful in praises, doing wonders.
Doing wonders.
Thou stretchest out thy right hand. The earth swallowed them.
The what swallowed?
The earth swallowed them.
Who did the earth swallow?
Pharaoh.
Let's look and see how the earth was swallowed. What is Pharaoh representative of? What y'all think Pharaoh representative of?
Son of perdition.
He's representative of Satan. He's representative of sin. He's representative of death. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. You hold that Exodus 15. Revelation 20 and 12.
12.
Huh? No, he tell a lie with you?
Revelation 20.
I'm sure you can kill it. I don't give two lunches. Always.
Nobody will listen. Just hang out with basketball shorts in the pool.
All they gonna do is that guy really doesn't care. and I'm still flying. 95% of them looking at it too. So
You go? Yeah. Revelation 20:12.
go ahead.
And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Elohim, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in those books, according to their works.
That's what happened with Pharaoh. He was judged according to his works. That's why the earth swallowed him and his whole. Remember he said it, and he said, I'm going to judge Egypt and all of her gods. Ain't that what he said? And they got drowned in the sea. Let's see what it says in Revelation 2. I just don't know what it's going to tell me. I have no idea. I just don't know. Maybe you know. Let's see what it will say.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And the death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
They were cast where?
Into the lake of fire.
What was that? Death and hell.
This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Now you can see why Pharaoh and his army were drowned in the sea. Because the devil and all his children will be drowned in the sea. See, that just wasn't just about drowning them in the Red Sea. That's showing you that I'm going to cast death and hell on every sinner in the lake. Come on, by the Exodus. So then we don't want no problems then. That man say, because this is why they got drowned in the lake. They were being judged according to everything that they had done. Now, let's sit back and think. We clown about it, but I'm not going to clown about it right now. All the stuff that was going on in Egypt. Let's look at all the stuff that was going on in Egypt. They were smoking marijuana. They were worshiping idols. They were homosexual. They committed adultery. They committed fornication. You know what I'm saying? They ate unclean animals because they like to eat rhinoceros blood. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? The one time I'm going to talk about Egypt, I ain't going to clown or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be dead serious. Just like we talked about last night. They say the black woman God, they worship vagina. They literally worship a woman's womb. They literally worship men's penises. Because that's what an obelisk is. It's a bull penis. You know what I'm saying? They were worshipers of the reproductive organs. That's what they literally did. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at in the seriousness of this here, they had to be judged for that. So then when you turn around and you look at America and you look at the world, they're doing the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. You go to the Washington Monument and there's a bull penis there. You know what I'm saying? You look at the reflecting pool, that is symbolic of a woman's womb. So basically, they couldn't make an ark, so they made an ark by putting that monument there in that reflecting pool. And now you have an ark.
On Wall Street, they got that cow too in New York.
Yeah, you know, you got the cow in front of the stock exchange, talking about a bull market. Like there's a brother got at me yesterday talking about I'm not going to post any more no pagan idols in my group. I said, what you talking about? The name Yahuwah, like this here tag. I was like, bro, I'm not even going to go through all that. This nigga sent me all these links. Read it. See, we didn't speak Hebrew. We spoke, man. I ain't got it. Just read it, brother. I ain't really respond to him. I just said, all right. All right, it's not a confirmation or a denial. All right, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't have the energy for all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go through that with you. You know what I'm talking about? But what I'm saying is that he said in Exodus that he would judge Pharaoh and Egypt for their works. We know that that's representative of sin, so we know that he's going to judge every transgressor for their works. We do not want to be drowned in the Red Sea. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be drowned in the Red Sea because your works are not found favorable before this man. The Pharaoh work, and again it goes to, he kept doing, what did he keep saying about Pharaoh's heart? And what did Hebrews 3 tell you? Don't let your heart be hard through the deceitfulness of sin. You know what I'm saying? So you can end up like Pharaoh. See, that's what I was telling that brother today and what I was telling y'all last night. When you don't have a mind and heart to obey, Yahuwah will let you continue on. He will harden your heart in the process. But he'll let you continue on till everybody can see what was actually in your heart by the manifestation of your works. No matter that you claim you love Yahuwah, no matter if you claim you're on a journey for the truth, no matter if you claim this here, Yahuwah's not looking at what you're saying out your mouth. He's looking at your action. You don't really love me. Like when we put that 1 John 3 in there, he said, let us not love in deed, in word and in deed, but in truth. He wasn't talking about just loving each other. He was talking about loving him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say they love Yahuwah, but then they go contrary to him. So how could you love? If you love him, you would do what he said. That's what the book says. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Where we at? Exodus 15, 13. Go ahead. You got Psalm 65 and 3, right? Make it.
Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed.
Thou in thy mercy has did what?
Led forth the people which thou hast redeemed.
Let's get some understanding on that. Go and get me Titus chapter 3 and 3. Now, if we're talking about redeemed, this is the people that he has purchased. You know, 1 John chapter 6 tells you he bought you with his own blood. That ain't what he told you. When he paid for you. If he paid for you, that means you belong to him. We already know that just from knowing the law. He paid for you with the blood of the Lamb. That's what bought you out of sin. So you sit back and look at it, right? If somebody done bought you, and I hate to sit back and look at that, all intents and purposes, you his servant, you his slave. So how can you say he's your master, but then you don't do what he tells you to do? You know what I'm saying? So if he's bought you to come work for him. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing how every last person in the room will get up and go to their job and do everything they supervisor tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? But this man done paid for you and told you to come work for him, and you question him and fight and kick with him on what he tell you to do. But you wouldn't dare go to Mr. Charlie and do that. You know what I'm saying? And you know the worst part is, though? Black people are only people on this planet that will go on somebody's job and tell them what they are and they're not going to do. You know, a lot of white people don't go on people's jobs and say, I'm not doing this. But it's in your job description, though. Like, I pay you to do this. You know what I'm saying? Black people come to your job, I need you to drop this chicken. I'm not dropping no chicken, but you to cook. I know all of us did it because I done went on the job and told the white folk, I ain't doing that. But we pay you to do it. I don't care what you pay me to do, I ain't doing that. Remember that time every time I dropped that jet fuel on that floor? I ain't dropping no jet fuel, bro. Say this gonna blow up the whole building, you can drop it. You don't pay me enough. You know what I'm talking about? But when we look at what Yahuwah telling you, he gonna pay you for doing your job, he's paying, his compensation package is pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all got a problem with his compensation package? The compensation package is pretty nice. And he ain't even really asking you to do much. What he really asking you to do? Upset people that don't want to do what he does. That's where it really gets difficult at. Because the people that you care about and you love and you around, they have a problem with your job and don't want you to go to work. And that's what seems to get people off of doing what they're supposed to do. Same way some people like this, they pick at somebody because they work at McDonald's, so they quit working at McDonald's because everybody say, you work at McDonald's. I get paid though, where you work at? You know what I'm saying? I know nobody really want to work at McDonald's, but if you ain't got no choice and they give you a job, you're going to work at McDonald's. So you probably get sick of looking at what them hamburgers look like in real life and you say, I don't want to participate in it. If I had a dude just tell me the other day, like, he's like, bro, beef patty? Nah, bro. I said, we already know. It's some places you don't want to work at just because maybe you don't agree with what they're doing. Like, I couldn't work at McDonald's. And not because of the pay. I couldn't feel comfortable pushing out some french fries that I know never decompose. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't feel right handing this bag out this window, knowing that them fries still gonna be in your intestinal tract 20 years from now. Some of us probably still got McDonald's fries trying to get through our endocrine system. They still ain't left it. I'm talking about you been detoxing for years trying to get rid of it. Like, well, I'm serious though. How many of y'all, you didn't have McDonald's fries in your car before? You done sat back and look at it like, I been to McDonald's and that thing look like I just dropped it in here last week. And some of y'all done picked that fry off the floor and ate it. Some of y'all done seen that, oh man, it's a fry. And when you bit it, you like, man, I regret this decision.
I don't think you regret it.
I know I did. I stopped eating McDonald's early though. I started eating McDonald's like 20 years old. Just didn't taste good. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sir. With Titus 3.
Titus chapter 3, verse 3. For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy.
We need to remember that sometimes when you know the difference of dealing with somebody who just is evil and just bucking, and somebody who don't even really know what's going on. Because all of us have been in that position where you haven't been deceived, and you were serving different lusts, and you was doing this and doing that. That's when we dealt with who can have compassion on those that are ignorant and out of the way. You have to know the difference between somebody that don't know and somebody that knows and just want to do what they want to do. Because there's a difference. Go ahead.
You were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving diverse lusts and pleasures, living in malice, envy, hateful, and hating one another. But after that, the kindness and the love of Elohim, our Savior, toward man appeared.
Remember, we dealt with this in the past. That kindness was that lamb showing you the kindness that would come later. So he purchased you. Because he didn't have to do that. Like somebody said something the other day, and that's real talk, right? Because you know a lot of brews like to say, right, that y'all never intended us to eat meat, right? Y'all done heard that before? Because they was like, that's not true. How is that true when he said the lamb was slain from the foundation of the world? So he was already ordained for men to eat meat. He just didn't set it in motion. How is it not ordained for men to eat meat and he had clean and unclean animals? So the man already had it set up you were going to do it. You know what I'm saying? It was already set up that you were going to do it. But it's the things how people just say certain things. It's when the love and kindness appear. See, he just had the herb, he just had the fruit of the field, because at this time, I just want you to eat the tree of life, but y'all ain't right yet. So I'm going to send my son in some flesh, so I got to let you eat some flesh, because you need to eat that right there. Because this fruit right here is not going to do it. I need you to eat his flesh and drink his blood. Then I'll be in you and you'll be in me, and you'll be quicker to life everlasting. But that's an example of people not paying attention to what the book say. Because people love to scream that. Adam was a vegan, we all supposed to be vegans. No, Adam wasn't no vegan. Adam just hadn't seen the sun yet. If I killed the sun from the beginning of the world, the son of lamb, and you got to eat a lamb on Passover, that's going to be kind of hard, and I wanted you to be a vegan. What did you say? Can't be no vegan, eat no lamb leg. You know what I'm saying? For real though. He was telling me the other day, a brother was like, y'all just deal with the spiritual and dump the surface. We deal with the surface for about 2 years after a period of time. You ain't going to start digging. True. You remember when we read in number 21 when he said they dug a hole? And that meant to search? Okay, we look at it. It's a nice looking plant. I wonder what's up under there. Let's dig and find out. There's nothing wrong with dealing with the natural and the surface. But that's only for a period of time. The time comes when you have to shoot past it. Hey there, girl. What's going on, Monty? Go ahead.
What's up?
Yeah, Titus 3.
Yeah, verse 4.
Titus 3 and 4. But after that, the kindness and love of Elohim and Savior toward man appeared. Not by works of righteousness, which we have done, but according to his mercy, he saved us by the washing of regeneration and the renewing of the Ruach HaKodesh.
It was nothing that you did. Same thing coming up out of Egypt. It wasn't nothing that you did. It was the mercy of Yahuwah what got you up out of it. That's good. Come on back. Now we look at that washing and that regeneration. That's the immersion. See, the same way that washing and regenerate, the same way that water saved them coming through the Red Sea was that same water that condemned them coming in behind the transport. See, he had to drown them in the sea because he couldn't let them become the sons of Allah. You know what I'm saying? I got to stop you. This is where the buck stops. Go ahead. Nah, but there it is.
Exodus 15, verse 14. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the habitations of the Palestinians. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the habitations of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them by the greatness of thine arm.
By the greatness of thine arm. We know who that arm is, right? Come on.
They shall be as still as stone.
Still as stone.
Till the people pass over.
To the who?
To the people pass over. O YAHUAH, to the people pass over which thou hast purchased.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place of YAHUAH which thou hast made for thee to dwell in.
He said, I'm going to plant you in the place that I made you to dwell in. Trucker, you give me Ezekiel 37:27. You walk with me for a little while. I'm trying to get to something. Ezekiel 37, make it 25. Make it 23. Ezekiel 37:23. There's, we good. Stay right here. You can get Revelation 21:1. What we're looking at is that the place of habitation that he's seeking to bring you in to dwell is seeking to bring you in to dwell in his son. And most high willing, when we get to it, as you see some of these words up here, see there's certain words, there's certain things that have to be accomplished for you to be able to come and actually enter into that house. You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all, if somebody had murder, well, some of y'all too young. Y'all ever remember that song, Cell Therapy? By CeeLo? You remember he said, Big Gip was like, he said, that's disrespect. Like coming in my house and not wiping your feet on the rug. You know what I'm saying? And you know what happens when you don't wipe your feet on the rug? You bring the dirt in the house. You know what I'm saying? Now you done stained up my carpet. That's why most people didn't do what they actually do when you come in the house. What did he tell Moses to do? The exit child.
Take off your feet, put this ground.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you can't dirty this place up, right? You know? Take your shoes off. Take off your feet. Well, what you gonna do after that? You gonna call me nuts here. I said take off your feet. I said you gonna call me nuts here.
No, I heard it.
I thought I heard it too. I just kicked my over. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is this here. When you come in your house, this is a set apart place. All that filth that you had on the outside of this house, you can't bring that in here. You know what I'm saying? You can't bring that in here. He told you that in 2 Chronicles chapter 7. If you defile this house, I will destroy it. Why you think Paul come back around and tell you in 1 Corinthians, whosoever defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy. You know what I'm saying? Because your body, it's like this here, right? I was just thinking about it earlier. Even like now what we're doing right now is kind of almost like what we were doing in the wilderness. In the wilderness, they had a temporary or movable tabernacle. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no permanent place to worship. They moved from spot to spot. We start right here, get to work. You know what I'm saying? You know why he did that there? He did that there to be able to weed out those that need to be weeded out before I actually have a place for y'all to go into. Cause I gotta get the riffraff from around. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I gotta get rid of it. So now you turn around and you look at it, right? Because to come into the house of Elohim, you got to be clean. He says that repeatedly. So if we know Mashiach is the literal house, then guess what that means? You got to be clean to come in here. See, I was having a conversation with some people. Brother asked, was it a sin to masturbate? I said, common sense should tell you ain't got no business masturbating. You know what I'm saying? Number one, you have to be lusting to do it. You know what I'm saying? But then they asked, I'm going to ask y'all a question in the room, right? Hebrews 13, I'm going to just see what y'all say. Hebrews 13 says the marriage bed is undefiled. Where would you go at in the law to be able to justify that statement? What do y'all even think that means when he say the marriage bed is undefiled? Or what do you believe it to mean as forth as it stands right now at this moment?
It's not in Deuteronomy 22.
That is correct. That's where exactly where it's at. That's exactly where it's at. That is exactly where it's at. You know how most rules look at the marriage bed being undefiled? That means you can do anything you want to in it. You know what I'm saying? You can put a strap on, hit your husband. You know what I'm saying? He can hit you with, I'm talking about, they were talking about all this here now, because they talking about, you can hit your husband in the booty. You know what I'm saying? He can hit you in the booty. You know what I'm talking about? You You can commit some oral sex. It's about the marriage bed undefiled. You can do anything you want. I said, where your book at for that? Oh, you just coming with your opinion. I say, baby, the marriage bed undefiled is Deuteronomy 22. If you have sex and you're not married, that bed is defiled. Ain't nothing clean about that bed. What do you mean? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? You retarded? Y'all talking about you want a book? I gave you a book. Now you're mad. You know what I'm saying? Because if you married, then your bed is undefiled. That's it. That ain't nothing. What is unclean about being married and having sex? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you married does not mean that you can have all these extracurricular activities. I told the brother, I said, this is my opinion. Then I hit him with the book with it. A man hit a woman in the booty, that is gay. You know what I'm talking about? Because you hit a woman in the booty, I know you hit a man in the booty. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why I killed him at. The book say no sodomites to the sons of Yashar'al. Man or woman, that's sodomy. You going to hell, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you stretching the law. What you mean? It's saying no sodomites. Ain't that what it said? I don't care because it's a woman's behind. You still commit a sodomy. It's not going in somebody's random sodomy.
A woman's butt.
I'm not messing with you right now. No, I'm talking about. I'm saying serious though. And all serious though. All serious. That's what the book say. The book say you can't. I can't be no sodomite. He can't be no sodomite. He can't be no sodomite. It also say you can't be a whore. She can't be a whore. You can't be no whore. You know, it's a lot of things go along with being a whore and then busting your legs wide open. You know what I'm saying? I tell y'all that all the time, but a lot of times when I say whore, I'm not talking about somebody who's sleeping around.
Somebody mind.
They mind. Being a whore is a mentality. You know what I'm saying? Jezebel was a whore. She was married though. She was married though. She was a grade A whore. Because she wanted her way, and her way was the only way. And if she didn't get her way, then she would eliminate all those that stood in her way to get her way. Whores manipulate their men. That's why I was telling y'all this last night. The book don't warn women about men. The book warns men about women. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you last night, a woman 9 times out of 10, if she feel like this man can't lead me nowhere, she's not going to mess with him. She'll just go and slide out the way. She might stick out with him a little bit longer, but she going to slide on out the way. You know what I'm saying? But a man can be moved by certain things, he can, and that woman can take him down. And we read too many strong mighty men in that book that got took down because of a woman. And the book warns men about, don't mess with this one here, boy. Her bed, it leads to the pathways of hell now. You know what I'm saying? You're going to die messing with this one here. You're going to die messing with this one here. Continue. You see King Lemuel, mama gave him a prophecy on what type of woman to choose. You know what I'm saying? That's imperative. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because it's still tied back to this here, right? When you marry a woman, you want to bring the right woman into your house. That's why the master had to come and die. This going along with what Corey was talking about earlier. You want to make sure you got the right woman you bring it home. Bring the wrong woman home, she'll take the whole house down. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the wrong man can lead you in the wrong direction and have you crash and let off in the ditch now, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, but I done seen more women capitulate to more men capitulate to a wicked woman than women to a man. So I believe once a woman senses that a man can't lead, she pretty much turned off and she's not listening to nothing he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And she'll dip. But a man, if she like the way she free, how free does she get? Well, he don't care what she doing. You know what I'm talking about? He don't care what she doing. Well, she cook them eggs good and she do this here. Bruh, she give it to me when I want it. She do this, she do that. He don't care. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel.
37.
37:23. Make it 22.
Ezekiel 37:22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yashar'al.
Yeah.
One king shall be king of them, and they shall be no more 2 nations, neither shall they be divided into 2 kingdoms anymore at all.
Why are we reading this? Why is this important?
Is that because he's bringing the house together?
Yeah, it's important on what we just asked about the marriage bed being undefiled. You know, our marriage bed was undefiled. We were married to Yahuwah. We were committing adultery. He told you that in Jeremiah 3:20. He sat back and told you, son. He said, you ain't like a woman that's scorned. Well, give me Jeremiah 3:20. I don't even want to quote it anymore. Jeremiah 23. 23 good, that's what it is. Now, I didn't mention that because, no, man, I don't care if you're married or not, man. You can't, it's just certain stuff you can't do. You know what I'm saying? You got no business putting your mouth on nobody's genitalia or private part. Even without the word, you ain't got no business putting your mouth on nobody's booty. That's the yeah, I'm talking about you extra freak on down there.
Oh my God.
Around here, tossing salads.
This 20.
3:20. Jeremiah 3:20. The reason being the dude talking about, oh, the heathens kiss. That's what they came with. Come on, bro. Kissing, bro. Kissing, bro. Kissing and putting your mouth on somebody's vagina or penis is a real different strategy. You already know that they ain't even our natural way of doing things, because niggas was ashamed to even let you know that they did stuff like that. It ain't coming with, I can't really realize, it wasn't until about 98, 99 when dudes was over with it. The trick that it came out, somebody eat vagina with legs up and blow all in booty, nigga ain't kept them on. You remember Fred? Fred used to be walking in the hallway to I eat your vagina. I'm like, that's my, I don't know that nigga. That was my homeboy now. We was like, I don't know that nigga. That nigga, wow. In high school with that. He ain't care. He from Miami, man. That nigga ain't care. Go ahead.
Surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Yashar'al.
That's why he kicked us out. If you say the bed is the place where you rest at, right? That's why he had to kick us up out of there. We had them defile that marriage bed. He had them brought somebody in there. You know, you got rules that teach that you can wife swap. Niggas be swinging. You know? Yeah, seriously though. Niggas be wife swapping. You know what I'm saying? They be like, I'm gonna get your wife today, you get my wife tomorrow. And people go for that. You know what I'm saying? Even without the word, I ain't going for that one. I'm good on that. And with all that swinging, how you get AIDS for? Come on. Y'all know what AIDS is for, right? To kill sinners. He told you that in Deuteronomy 28. He said, any plague that's not written in the book is going to cleave y'all. It ain't got to be in here. You talking about where cancer came from? Y'all came with it. Where this came from? Y'all gave it to you. Well, a man made it, so you can get it. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? If you celibate or you married, and you ain't committed adultery and you married, you ain't worried about no AIDS. What AIDS got to do with you? Your wife faithful, you faithful, how you get AIDS? Unless you got a blood transfusion. That's the only way you're going to get it. Unless you around here a junkie on the low, you ain't tell nobody you sharing needles. Other than that, you ain't worried about no AIDS. What you worry about that for? You around here getting free every day, you got to worry about it. Check your status. Check my status for what? I've been married 10 years, I don't check nothing. We walk in the book. I find out she cheating. That spirit of jealousy come on. Uh-oh, somebody got to leave. And it ain't me. Because see, we defiled his bed, that's why he put us out of his house. She ain't got to die. She got to get out of the house. I ain't going to kill you. I ain't going to murder you. She got to get out of the house.
I think I read a song like on an article. They said that if you catch your wife cheating, you could kill her and get off.
No, what that is, I've actually been incarcerated with people who did that. It's called a crime of passion. The dude I was locked up with, he told me, he said, man, I came home, found a penis in my wife bigger than mine. I killed her and him. And he beat that charge too. You know what I'm saying? Because he walked in that house, caught him in his house, in his bed. You know? Bam, bam. Straight like that. You already had to burn on. I don't know why he had to burn on, but you got to do it immediately though. Like you can't catch him in there and be like, I'm going to shoot back down here downstairs and then come back, get a pistol, come up and shoot. It's got to happen right then. Because I tell you no lie, I don't know what I do. I walk in the house and my wife having sex with somebody in my house. Well, I pay them in that. Somebody may have to die. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you carnally minded, you walking up. First, just shoot. Some of you women might feel like that. You walk in the house and you might got a knife or a pistol on you and you catch him in the y'all forbid he had a man in there, because there's some women that walk in the house and call their husband with a man.
Oh, man.
I ain't being funny, I'm dead serious. There are some women that have come home and caught their husband cheating on them, and that was not a woman in that room. It was a boy. Caught him in the Range Rover with a boy. There's some women that done did that, done killed their husband or boyfriend because they caught him, because that's disrespectful. It's bad enough you disrespecting your wife by cheating on. It's even more when you do it in the house, in your bed. That's extremely disrespectful. That's how y'all felt when we were doing it to him. You sleeping with other gods in my house, in my bed, right in my face. That's disrespect. Don't even worry about it. I'll kill you and get the rest of y'all. I'm going to kill you and your children. Huh? That's what he said about us too. Because he called us a whore. He said, not only that, he said, you opened your feet to everybody that passed by, and his, it was theirs. You ain't even mind like this here. They just walk back. Those some nice shoes. Want to have sex? That's how we will operate. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful. That's why I mentioned that with the dude I know, he around here talking about L Bay. You know what I'm saying? Dixon is that, the other third. Like I told you, niggas was deifying Dr. Seth. Niggas was making him out to be God. Nigga, all the nigga did was he was just an herbalist. Let's just break it all the way down and just be the reality. Nigga was a nutritionist and an herbalist. That's it. That's it. If some of y'all took the time to research this stuff, you could do the same stuff he was doing. It ain't like he had some old magical powers. It ain't like he had some information that's not readily accessible under all men.
Corey and William doing something.
He just was an herbalist. Telling people don't eat this and don't eat that. Shoot, nigga, anybody can do that. But niggas actually posted this man in his casket and all that type of stuff. Nigga, I don't want to see that nigga. Care nothing about that nigga being dead. They talking about they killed him. Nigga was 83. You know how long the book say you got? 70 years. And if you're strong, 80. He was 3 years old. Time for him to go. That's Psalms 90 now. The book say you got 70 years, and if by reason of strength, you get 80. It's time to go. But I guess them niggas thought Dr. Samuel was going to live forever. He's alkaline died, they killed him, they did this here. No, nigga, y'all killed him. Y'all say punch his clock.
Oh, you can tell he old. Look at him.
Yeah, he old. Then I'm talking about that. They locked him up for no reason. That's the stupid nigga. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? Getting locked up overseas ain't like getting locked up over here. It's bad over here. It's actually worse overseas depending on what country you're in. They talking about he's a celebrity. How they lock him up with $37,000? Who said he was a celebrity? Who knows him? And we was to go out in the general public and say, do you know who Dr. Sebi is? The average person does not who knows who he is.
In your country, you like
And it ain't even just, it's just niggas who on Facebook all day. The average everyday person don't know who that is. You know the reason why I knew who it was? Because of other niggas I know.
Yeah, I know it because of
Like I said, right, he was on TV. This left eye called this man name out 20 years ago.
Yeah, I knew about that.
This man was on CBS talking about how he was curing AIDS in the 80s. Speak was on national news. We ain't talking about no local news. CBS is worldwide news. And the people gonna kill that man years ago. They wanted him dead. Nigga just was old. Nigga was old. You 83, nigga. What did you walk around with $37,000 for in Honduras? What you thought they were gonna do? You gonna get locked up with $37,000 in the United States right now.
Right now.
Bro, if the police, if I had a duffel bag right in my hand right now, and the police stopped me and they said, "Oh, boy, I'm going to jail." It's called unauthorized possession of money.
You can't have no more than what?
You can't have no more than $10,000 cash on your purse. It might be $8. If you go to the bank and try to deposit $10,000, bro, they automatically have to alert the feds by law. Yeah, man, we should do that, man. When we were hustling, bro, I would go in the bank, drop 2 stacks, might come back later on in the day, drop 2 more stacks. You know what I'm saying? Slide back 2-3 days later, drop 5. I ain't gonna put it all in there at one time. Just slide it in. 500 here, 600 there. Next thing you know, this guy's got $15,000 in here. You go in there, you put it all in there at one time, you going to jail. And you stupid. I was locked up with a dude who did that. He went and tried to buy a Rolex. It's gone now. On Atlantic Boulevard, man, like when you go into a 295, it's still a jewelry store, I think. He tried to go in there and buy a Rolex, $20,000 cash. I looked at the nigga like, you really that dumb, bro? This was like 2002 when he did this. They locked him up. You can't do that. I don't know how much time he got. He was awaiting trial. I don't know how much time he ended up getting. He was from New Jersey though. Maybe you can do that in Jersey. You ain't doing that down here. He said while he was in there trying to buy the watch, the people called the police on him. You know what I'm saying? And when he was trying to walk about the door, they said, "No, so you come over here." But just like what he mentioned, right, a marriage bed undefiled is you actually being married. Deuteronomy 22 verses 13 through 22 is the justification in the law for that statement. You know what I'm saying? If you're not married and you're committing sex and you having sex, your bed is defiled. That's what the book says. He said marriage is honorable. That don't matter if you're a Kadeshim or a sinner. Yahuwah say salute. You're a sinner, you still going to hell. You don't care nothing because you're married. That's not going to spare you his wrath. You're still going to hell. But I respect it though. You know what I'm saying? Get as freaky as you want. I ain't looking over there. Ain't got nothing to do with me. But that old fornicator, that whoremonger, that adulterer, I'm watching him. I'm going to kill him. If he don't repent. Go ahead, sir.
Ezekiel 37.
22. The reason why we were looking at that, main reason why we're mentioning on is John 10:16. He said there'll be one shepherd and there'll be one fold. That means no multiple wives. That's what they're talking about. Only one wife. Take it back to the beginning. Ain't that what he told you in Malachi? He said, then I had a God, and see, in the beginning, I made him one. They all dudes always talk about, see, such and such had multiple wives. How many wives did Adam have?
One.
And Yahusha the what?
Second Adam.
That's over with. How many wives Abraham had?
One.
And what did he do before he married Keturah? What did he wait for first? He waited for Sarah to die first, so that go that thing with the law. You can't marry nobody while your spouse still living. He didn't remarry till his wife died. When his wife died, he went and took another wife. And what Abraham named him? And what is it Yahusha called in Isaiah chapter 9? Everlasting Father. So that's over with. You only get you one. I don't care how many wives David had or how many wives Solomon had. I would have dudes kept talking about with them locks. Samson had locks. What's your point? What did y'all do? What we did with that last week? What did y'all say about the locks? What he told him to do? Cut him. Over with. Come on. Cut him. Look at you sit in the room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men that have locks in their head. They ain't got them. You know what I'm talking about? So what that tell you? The word of Yahuwah is more important. They don't want to cut their hair. I told you what a nigga want to do. The nigga want to do like this here. They want to sit back and do this here. Hey, what they want to do.
I thank God that you the Most High.
Yeah, because we told her, I said, before we put him in that water, them things got to go.
Johnny got that permanent part though.
I get right though. Give me some right. I do it.
Told her, I said, I can't verse you got the things in here. I can't do this. That's what the word do. See that? Thank y'all. Word make mom dudes happy. I'm glad I didn't cut the words out of his head. It looked like the scalp was throwing up. Okay. I know how some people feel about them laws. They say like your scalp throwing up. Some of them didn't talk about the freeform law. That's what I told her. Look like nigga scalp throwing up. Niggas just sat over there and just dooted on your head. One that kept on going. Squat. Don't talk about cop the squat. You know what I'm saying? Look here, right? If the word I said, without the word, like I don't care nothing about it. I wasn't never with them freeform, but them things just don't do it for me. I'm too fly for that. I can't do it. I can't be walking around looking like I just been living up under a bush for 20 years. Go ahead, man. I'm just saying, man. I can't look like no. I don't look like no homeless man. I can't do it. I like to get fly. They say you fly everywhere, but your hair look like just a matted up Brillo pad.
Your cause of call on Ezekiel 37:22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yashar'al.
Yep.
One king shall be king of them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
No more.
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols.
No, they're not neither do what?
Shall they defile themselves
See how that marriage bed was defiled? Because you laying down with other gods. Come on.
any more with their idols, neither with their detestable things.
Neither with their abominations. What's some abominations y'all can think of off the top of your head?
All unrighteousness.
All unrighteousness is abomination. Sodomy, sorcery. A woman wearing what pertains to a man.
Unjust weights and balances.
Unjust weights and balances. Lying.
Proud look.
Sowing discord among brethren. And shedding innocent blood. This is the things that we were all doing. How we looked at last night about how the blood got to be cleansed out the land. Go ahead.
Nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places where they have sinned.
He said, what y'all think this could mean when he said, I will save you out of all your dwelling places where you have sinned?
Yeah, scattered people.
Go on and get 2 Corinthians chapter 5, man. And verse 1. Not even verse 1, verse 13. We talking about saving, what is your dwelling place? Hold on. Before you even read that, somebody give me Job 22 and 22. Your dwelling place is not the places where you're scattered, because those places were defiled before you got here. You talking about selling, you didn't sin in America, you sinned before you got here. You didn't sin in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? You didn't sin when you went to Babylon or Medes and Persia. You talking about saving you out of your dwelling place. You talking about saving you from the body of sin. Talking about saving you from the flesh. What we had just read in Romans chapter 7 before we had started. I guess we won't have to read it then, ain't we? Go ahead, sir. Job 22 and 22.
Job 22 and 22. Receive, I pray thee, the Torah from his mouth,
Receive his instructions
and lay up his words in thy heart.
in your heart.
If thou return to Al Shaddai, thou shalt be built up.
You'll be what?
Built up. Thou shalt be put away. Thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacle.
Far from your house. So guess what he's telling you right there now? He's telling you he's going to save you from out of your dwelling place. He said if you receive the words of his mouth, then you remove iniquity far from you, from your tabernacle, from your dwelling place. That's all the tabernacle is a dwelling place. What that is? Romans 7:20. Give me 1 Corinthians 3 and 15 there. Let's read 1 Corinthians 3 and 15 first, and then Troy can get Romans 7:22.
If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Know ye not that ye are the temple of Elohim?
Do you not know that you are the tabernacle or the house of the living Elohim? It's right here, right? You go to word right there, right? Right there. You don't know that? And you know that's the second character in our alphabet, right? That's the house. So what we got right here, right? See? And then here we got the yard, right? And then you got the top, right? So you know what you're seeing right there? You got the house or the right hand or the seal or the mark or the covenant. So when you sit back and you realize and say, I'm going to save you out of all the dwelling places where you done committed sin, and that means the right hand will make a seal in the covenant with you to remove that sin from out of your house. But you got to allow to just what he said in Job 22, you got to sit back and allow to receive the instructions from the words of his mouth and lay them up in your heart. If you don't do that, then you can't do that. Go ahead, sir.
And the Ruach of Elohim dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy. For the temple of Elohim is set apart, which temple ye are. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise.
Now why did it make sense? He said, if any man seem to be wise, let himself be a fool that he might be wise. Do you know where that's at in the book of Proverbs or what he's actually referencing in this statement?
In the church of his heart.
The book of Proverbs, he said, he said a fool or a rod is made for a fool's back. But he also said this, he said, a man that keepeth his mouth closed, he said, even a fool is wise when he shut his mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's going back to when they had the Shiach on the getting ready to kill him, and they were asking him this and they were asking him that, and he didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because you got to remember something, right? People can see, say, we fools for Mashiach's sake. That's what Paul said, right? A lot of people think we crazy. Oh, y'all don't buy and sell on Saturday, on Friday and Saturday, y'all don't do this, you don't do that. Like your homeboy asked, so y'all get to have fun? Yeah. What kind of fun you get to have? Why does iniquity have to be equated with having fun? You know what I'm saying? That's how we think that you got to commit sin or do some ungodly. You can have fun and not sin. Well, I see that devil. It's me and you better see that. I did too just now. Thought he had on some gangster ball.
Oh, I got it. I like the soda read.
Go ahead,
Stay with some clean with
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Elohim. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
We have to remember that. As much as people love Dr. Seven, his wisdom was foolishness to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about that. You know, it's a lot of wise men. It's something that he says towards the end of that chapter 1, actually. He say, not many wise men are called and not many nobles. He say he uses the scourge of the low things of the earth to preach his word. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to get no kings. He's not going to get no rich men because at the end of the day, you know who's going to get this team? That man. You know, it's a lot of men that we consider to be great that you would probably let get killed because they would get too big for their britches. Not at any fault of their own. You know what I'm saying? But I got to get them from around here because I'm not going to get no esteem and honor from them. This man say I will not give my esteem to another. So I'm not going to let somebody else get it. But guess what happens if you get somebody? Remember what the master told them? What it is? Did that Matthew 21? Let me see that. What I'm talking about. Get that 1 Corinthians 1 and 26 and read what I'm talking about. You still hold Romans chapter 7.
1 and 26.
1 and 26.
For see ye your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But Elohim have chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Elohim have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, and base things of the world and things which are despised have Elohim chosen.
You know, he did that with David, right? David was despised. He wasn't nothing but a shepherd boy. And he stood up there and say, man, well, what's happening then? I'm a buck this big giant nigga, whole head loose. They say, man, who is this? That Goliath went to speak. Who is you? Who is you? When you sit back and you look at it, every time you seen him tear somebody down or use somebody, it wasn't never a great man. You know what I'm saying? Even when the master came, he was not a great man according to worldly standards. He just was a carpenter. The people looked at him and said, ain't that Mary and Joseph's son? Ain't that the carpenter's son? Who is this nigga? He got all these mighty works. He doing all this stuff. Who this nigga think he is? That's how they were acting. Who did it? Even with Saul, when Saul came to prophesy, they say he was goodly and bigger than everybody. But Saul even said, he said, I'm the least in my father's house. What you calling me for? Even Gideon said that. What you calling me for? I'm the least in my father's house. I mean, I'm the weakest, I'm the lowest, I'm the scourge, I'm nothing. He said, that's why I picked you. That's how Yahuwah operate. I'm going to pick that. You know what I'm saying? Now read Matthew 21 and 27. Y'all ain't never realized that before, did you? That all these men he called up, a lot of them were nobody. Even Abraham, when he called him, he wasn't nobody. He wasn't nobody till y'all got hold to him. Yeah, he said, I choose. He said, I didn't choose you because you were the greatest of all people. He said, you were the least. That's in Deuteronomy chapter 7. He said, I chose you because I loved your father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How you sit back and look at it? You wasn't nobody. You was a stranger in a strange land. Worshiping their gods. Living how they live, eating rhinoceros butter. They really did eat rhinoceros. Yeah, that's why I be tripping on them Arabs. They be having nerve to talk about y'all eat this. Nigga, you eat camel bite. Camel bite. Nigga eating camel hump. Y'all marry 7-year-olds. How dare you? Whoa. That's when you hear the white people going, well, I never. You know the white women do it. Well, I never. They say, obviously not looking like that. Go ahead, man.
Matthew 21 and what?
27.
Matthew 21, 27. And they answered Yahushua and said, we cannot tell.
Make it 25.
25. The immersion of Yahuwah, whence was it?
Where was it from?
From Shemaim or of men?
You look at Yahuwah, guess where he was? That man was out there in the wilderness, but with a camel's raiment and a leather girdle, eating locusts and honey. So you know he wasn't too great and powerful. That man in the woods, eating locusts. That man say, you say great men say in king's houses with soft raiment on. He said, what you going out there to see? Go ahead.
And they reasoned with themselves, saying, if we shall say from Shemaim, he was saying to us, why did you not then believe? But if we shall say of men, we fear the people.
Ain't that wicked? They sit around there talking to themselves, how we gonna get out of this? If we say it for Shemaim, they gonna say, why you ain't listening? If we say this here, they gonna say the people, they gonna stone us. Look what these wicked niggas say.
For all hold Yahuwah as a prophet. And they answered Yahushua and said, we cannot tell. And he said to them, neither tell I you by what.
You know that's wicked. Because them niggas sitting in their head, they like, if we say this here, he gonna say this here. If we say this here, we just gonna say, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Wicked bastard. Well, if that ain't the epitome of wickedness, I don't know, because you know what that means? That they had a reason in themselves for which way to answer? They know it was right. They know it was right. If we say Shamaim, he gonna say why we ain't believe. If we say a man, we fear the people because they gonna kill us. But we don't want to look bad. I don't know. You look bad anyway. Read it again, see what he's talking.
And they answered Yahushua and said, we can't tell. And he said unto them, neither tell I you by what authority I do these things.
So don't ask me no questions about what authority I do. Same way they came at Moses talking about who sent you to do this. I don't know no Yahuwah. Don't worry about who told me to do it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But what do you think? A certain man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, son, go work today in my vineyard. And he answered and said, I will not. But
he said he won't?
I will not.
But what did he do after that?
But afterward he repented.
He turned.
And he went.
And he went.
And he came to the second and said likewise. And he answered and said, I go, sir. And he went not.
He said, you know that's even worse. I'm gonna do it. Didn't do it. Go ahead. You know, we dealt with this before. Y'all remember that? Which of them did the will of their father?
Yep.
Come on now.
Whether the twain did the will of his father.
Which one did it? What did he say?
They said to him, the first.
The first one.
Yahushua said to them, truly I say unto you that the publicans, the harlots, go into the kingdom of Elohim before you.
Now when you sat back and told them, the people that's at the bottom and who you look down upon, I bet they get in for you. You know what I'm saying? I bet they get in for you. You know, it's a lot. I was talking to a brother about this here, right? You know, hopefully y'all willing will be able to do it in the near future. You got a lot of organizations, but they will not go outside the four walls that they sit in. And they will look down on anybody that's outside of them four walls that's not sitting in there with them. Once forgetting that you were once outside of those four walls yourself. Which is why we read what we read in Titus chapter 3. You know what I'm saying? So I told you one day eventually. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously somebody got to stay inside and preach the word inside the building. But we'll go in the street with it. Let them know. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I am a dope boy. I'm going to be a dope boy for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's never going to change. I just ain't going to sell rocks. You know what I'm saying? But that's never going to change. You know what I'm saying? So I know somebody who's been to prison, sell dope like this. I mean, I know what they're going through. You know what I'm talking about? I know how they feel. So I ain't going to look at him and, oh, see, you going to hell. No, I'm going to tell you, I remember my homeboy, right? He was selling dope. He asked me. He said, bro, you think I'm going to hell? I said, nigga, why you asking me that question? You know you going to hell, you keep doing what you doing. What you thought I was just going to look at you and tell you you ain't going? You already know you going if you keep doing what you're doing. Now, I ain't just going to look at it and be like, oh, you going to hell, and that's just the end of it. You know what you're doing. You got to stop doing what you're doing. You know, I done sat back. I used to sell rocks right around the corner from him. You know what I'm saying? I done actually sat down and preached the word on blocks where I used to sell rocks at. You know what I'm saying? With dudes I used to sell rocks with. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And they'll sit back and they know, like, shoot, bro. Bro used to sit on this same block with me, burning down, selling dope, and he don't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? And I would come holler at them day in and day out, open up the word to them. Now, what they choose to do after I open up the word to them is on them. You know what I'm saying? I was with my homeboy a couple weeks ago. He was like, bro, so you ain't gonna mess with it, bro. It's like that. I said, it ain't none of that. That dude, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I got money to make. I can't sit up here with you all night. Nigga, it ain't like that no more. Nigga, we ain't selling rocks. We can sit out here till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Bro, I ain't made no money Uber driving all night at 1 o'clock. And this shop nigga 10 cash. I gotta make this money.
Shut it up.
That's how it hurt right there, bro. I bet you be quiet. Come on. He's gonna keep on saying, oh, he trying to flip it. Don't do it, nobody. Don't do it. Stop acting like somebody choking you down. He act like he hyperventilating. Where was that for? I didn't get that Romans 7:22. That's that hurt. You got to take out the door. That makes me think of what called to a little bro out the door. Got all type of bass in his voice that day. Go ahead,
Romans 7:22. For I delight in the law of Elohim after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law.
Battle going on.
And bringing me into captivity to the law of sin which is in my members.
Yeah.
Oh, wretched man that I am.
Who will deliver me from the body of this death? Who will deliver me from the sin that is in my dwelling place? Because he said, we didn't read the verse, he said sin working in my members. He's trying to bring me into bondage and captivity. He said, you got to see, so I'm going to free you from the members. What that is that Romans chapter 11? Tell me what 11:26 says, the Romans 11:26. And then you could go back to Ezekiel 37. Is that right?
And so y'all, and so all Yashar'al shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come up out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
So the reason why we're looking at this, and we're going to get to it in a moment, is that in order to enter into this house and the threshold and the post and all these things, sin has to be removed from your mortal body. Or I say, I'll save you from the sin out of your dwelling places or out of your body. I know I asked for 2 Corinthians 5:13, right? But you got to get, go to Ezekiel 37, man, wherever you stop at. The reason why we were looking at in 2 Corinthians 5, he was like, if anybody be in Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away, all things are become new. So you have to sit back and look at it, right? You had the first house, right, that Solomon built. But it was destroyed and made new during the time of Nehemiah. Because that thing's got to become new. That's why I told you last night. Everybody want to be built up, but nobody doesn't want to have to be destroyed to be rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? And the destruction process is usually not nice. It's not pleasurable. He told you that in Hebrews chapter 12. He said the chastisement at that particular time seems grievous. He said, but if you endure it, then you shall be received the son. See, that period of time you get chastised and rebuked and being destroyed, you look at it, people want you to give it nice and softly to them. Man, that book say that man is an austere man. An austere man is rigorously self-disciplined and uncompromising. That man is not coming to play with you. You know what I'm saying? He'll let you know. You stupid, you retarded, this is what you need to do, change that. Like, he's just not going to tell you stupid and retarded. He's going to tell you how you stupid and retarded, and then what you need to do to change that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to pat you on your head, my son. I know it's hard for you right now. Go like this here, man, tighten up. That's how he's spoken to people. Tighten up. That man walked through there and told him, tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. This man went off on his disciples and called them, he called them unbelievers. He said like, oh, hardness of heart. He said, oh, fools and slow of heart to believe everything the scripture has said. This is what he said to the 11 men he chose unto himself. He called them stupid. This man done resurrected from the dead. Y'all ask me all these questions. He looked right in the face. You stupid, simple-minded individual. That's what he literally told them when he said, oh, fools and slow of heart. He said, y'all are stupid and simple. You know how many people right now, oh, I wouldn't want to serve. I don't want to hear the word from nobody call me stupid and simple. Going to hell. Because that's what he told his apostles now. You ain't seen none of them be like, man, why you said that to me? They said, shoot, he ain't lying. We were stupid and simple. Ain't that what he told them? I don't know if they believe it, that's what he told them. Somebody get Luke 24 and 20. Let's see if that's what he told them. I don't want nobody to think I'm making that up. I just don't want nobody to think I'm making that up. That's what he told them. 24 and 20. That's hard right there. Y'all wouldn't think, how many people think the Messiah talk to people like that? A lot of people don't think he talked to people like that. Nah, he talked to them. These is apostles now. So this ain't just no sinners or scribes and Pharisees. He's talking to the men he chose from the foundation of the world unto himself. That's who he's talking to. Go ahead, sir.
Luke 24 and 20. And how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death, and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel. And besides all this, to the day, this is the third day since these things were done. Yeah, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were earlier at the sepulchre. And when they found out his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of Malachim, which said that he was alive. And a certain of them which were with us at the sepulchre, and found it even so as the woman had said, but him they saw not.
What did he say?
Then he said to them,
what did he say?
O fools!
Oh what?
O fools!
Oh what?
O fools!
And what else?
And slow of heart to believe all that the prophets had spoken. Are not Hamashiach to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory?
Man just looked at his apostles and said, you stupid, simple-minded individuals. You didn't believe everything this book said. That's what he just told. That's the same thing we were looking at last night in that John chapter 6, when he hit them with, eat my flesh and drink my blood, and they stopped walking with it. And Peter said, yeah, Peter, you gonna start walking too? Peter said, where we gonna go? You got the words of eternal life. See, I say that, I say this, people just sit back and be like, I don't like the way he talked to me, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And the master said, go ahead and go over here. You weren't supposed to get it nowhere. Please leave. You notice he ain't stopping and say, come back. Come back. He let a nigga leave. Please leave. Because he said, does this offend you? That's what he asked me. Is what I just said, does it offend you? He said, well, check this out. What if you see me go back to where I was before? He said, the flesh don't profit nothing. It's the spirit that quickens. These words that I speak unto you, they spirit and life. He said, but I know some of you niggas don't believe them. That's what he told him. He didn't say, well, let me sing it to you a little smoother so it don't hurt your feelings. He said, just know this here. Everybody come to me, they can only come except my Father draw. So if you don't want to hear what I'm talking about, please go to him. You know what I'm saying? Please go. You notice he did not beg anybody to stay. He let him leave because it wasn't never for you in the first place. You know what I'm saying? People like, it's not my Jesus. Yeah, no, Jesus don't do it. Yahusha do it. I don't know what Jesus do. Probably said, hang out with Leonardo da Vinci. Come on, go to Ezekiel 37.
37 and 23.
Y'all know what he was doing with Leonardo da Vinci. Y'all know what he was doing with him. Y'all don't want to know. Children know.
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions.
None of their
But
transgressions.
I will save them out of all of their dwelling places where they have sinned.
Yep.
I will cleanse them.
He'll do what?
Cleanse them.
We talked about cleansing last night too, didn't we? Come on.
So shall they be my people, and I will be their Elohim.
Now how will they be cleansed to be his people? Give me Ephesians 5:25. Let's see how he cleanses they can be his people. We already looked at that when we read Titus chapter 3. By the washing and regeneration of the YAHUAH HaKodesh. That word got to cleanse your heart. You just got to get some stuff up off. Ephesians 5:25.
Husband, love your wives even as Hamashiach also loved the church, the synagogue, and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be kodesh and without blemish.
Get John 15:3. So that's what you got. That's what he was going to do to cleanse you. It's two things that's going to cleanse you. The washing of water of the word, and what's the other thing? Go and get 1 Peter chapter 3 about verse 18.
Yehukanah of John.
15:3.
Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
You know, the word will get you clean, get all the grime and dirt off. That's what a lot of people don't want to deal with, is getting clean. They like to stay dirty. And it's crazy because black people in real life don't like to be dirty, but inwardly you love to be dirty. Most black people like to bathe and smell nice and clothes be clean, but inside they just love to be filthy. He told you that in Isaiah, wash you, make you clean to cease from doing evil from before mine eyes, and learn to do well and seek justice and judgment. See, we'd rather be clean on the outside. That's why he told him, say, wash the inside of the cup, that the outside of the cup might be clean also. Because he say, you full of iniquity and dead men's bones. It's a lot of rules, boy. Like I said, right? You already know how I feel like. You got some people feel like you ought to wear Hebrew garments, you know what I'm saying? Like bro says he's all the way down to the knees. You know what I'm saying? Blue border with the blacks, all that there. Oh, see, he ain't righteous, bro. Where your friend is at? You know what I'm saying? You got something to feel like you ought to put on nice suits and all this here. You know what I'm talking about? But people didn't feel like this how you ought to look. What difference does that make what I got on? At least my clothes clean and my heart clean. I don't care what you got on, as long as your clothes clean. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you got some dudes, them niggas look like, you know, like them niggas in Heaven Planet, them niggas look like they don't wash their clothes at all. Every time I see them niggas, them clothes look dirty. Like you niggas ain't got no fabric softener, no nothing. Niggas just look bad. Yeah, we see him out there on done. He ain't see us though. You know what I'm talking about? I hope cuz who got a jaw, bro, I hope he healed. You know what I'm saying? We still gonna try to catch purple rain. That's what they call it? Purple rain. Purple rain. I'm catching niggas in the street one day. You know what I'm saying? But it's a whole key thing. And a lot of people, you know, the master told you about it. They worried about this. Outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I be in the street like, man, there be people in that car, man. Like I kept this here, I'll tell you something right now. I picked up a white boy the other day. Out there on Pecan Paul. So he talking to me about certain things and he said something about the word. So I waited, hit it, bum, bum, bum. When I went to hit it, he was like, bro, this giving me goosebumps. He said, I wouldn't even thought you knew this looking at you. I said, I know you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had nothing on but the basketball shorts and the t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we was in J.C. Penn's. He like, oh, that's my teacher right there. That nigga say, who, him? Him? Who you said? The lady at the register.
It was a lady at the register. I was like, yeah, this is my pastor right here. They're like, what? Yeah, and then the lady said, well,
I'm a pastor, we just ignored that.
Oh,
We just ignored her. She raised her hand with it too. I'm a pastor.
I would hear the verse.
I just kept on going. I just like this. I act like I ain't heard that. But I ain't had nothing but on with some shorts and a t-shirt. And people like this here. That guy. The reason being is you don't never know. See, I was taught that young. Don't underestimate nobody. You don't know what nobody knows.
yeah, so we taught that pastors supposed to have like a meeting of wearing suits and stuff like that.
They just have this. I can have anything on anytime. Feel how I feel at the time.
But you had on Under Armour or something?
Yeah, I had on a compression shirt.
Bro, I was like, the way it happened, bro, like, yeah, that's my pastor. Right there. It was like about 5 people in line. They look like.
I would thought it was a joke.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, you know, I knew she thought it was a joke because when she gave me my money back for the sushi, like, all right, now don't go take it and do nothing, don't buy no drugs. She was like, yeah, she's like, don't be.
Yeah, it was like this. They didn't know. If I was over my mom, it was one person in there was a black dude standing off to the side. He was like this. He was like, what do you think? You know what I'm saying? Then I see the difference in too. I don't know my age. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't thinking that I'm close to 40. They think, oh, he in the mid-20s or late 20s or something. You know what I'm saying? So they think they young. You know what I'm saying? Even when I pull up on the construction site, like, hey man, what's happening? Bam! We trying to bid on that. They be thinking, man, who this young nigga walking up on us like that, 25, 26? How dare you? What you mean, man? What's happening with that cash though? You know what I'm saying? What's up with that cash though? And if I'm riding, I done jumped out on a construction site just like this. I ain't gonna be like, I'm gonna come back tomorrow when I got such and such. I'm gonna pull up on it right now. Who I need to talk to? Where in the car?
Probably that part. That part.
Oh, that
That young nigga part.
That's 10 years right there.
That young nigga part.
I mean, people thought I looked young when I I don't know what we gonna do.
Everybody's doing a glimpse to themselves.
I was like, dang, the camera finna cut off. I don't know how long the lights gonna be.
I thought the whole library should.
Ain't no back to the camera.
That's all.
There's just one light that came on.
Come on, let's go ahead and kick it, man. I'm sitting most out like this here. I'm finna bring it down. It sounds like it's coming down out here.
It was just sunny out there.
Yeah, it don't take long. That Florida for you, baby.
It was raining too.
Where we at? But like I said, but that also goes again to not many things that are. Man, I used to get people like that on in the street all the time. Cause I stayed with that Jordan shorts on and the Jordan t-shirt on all the time, and slides on, and walk up on the people. They be like, "What? I never thought you would have known what you know. I would have thought." I said, I know you wouldn't have thought. I don't walk up on people, bro. I don't know what you know. Y'all know when I met y'all, I ain't say, oh, y'all don't know this. I gotta see what you know. I don't know what you know. You know what I'm saying? Cause if I come at you thinking you don't know something, guess what ends up happening? You'll end up embarrassing people because I underestimated you. You know what I'm saying? We would talk that a long time ago. That same way you run up on the dude, oh, I whoop that. You don't know, cuz, I got hands of steel.
We're supposed to be on that passenger.
I had on the ticket. That was the same day. I went to go meet a pastor dressed like that. I just left the gym. I ain't put no clothes on him. I just got finished lifting. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna slide up on cuz just like this here. Wow, what happened? Boom. We went in bed. I'm in bed pastor with glow like that. Like, what's happening? T-shirt and some shorts on. What's happening? What you talking about? And smashed him too. Right in Burger King. Right on King's Road. He was looking so great. You know what I'm talking about? He said, you need some international knowledge. I said, nigga, what is international knowledge? You know what I'm talking about? All he did is open up the book on him. He been preaching for years. All he wanted was Glover to come in there and play some music so he can make some money. Say the more music he played, the more money we make. They ain't say it in them words, but that's what he was on.
Music make people tired.
Music, see, you understand, music is tied in with emotion. So we can play, they know to play certain chords at certain times to invoke and elicit certain emotions. We want you to be sad, we play certain things. And when we come up there, we kind of speed it up and get your emotions sped up. So when you come from that sad into that happening, and the next thing you know behind that, I send that playground.
Yep.
Then when you just put that sad again, hold on.
You go too hard.
That's manipulation.
I
I mean, I ain't even been in no church, but I know that because all you gotta, if any of y'all ever took a marketing class in your life, the first thing they do is they teach you human psychology first. It's the first thing they teach you. If you decide to be a marketing major, the first thing they teach you is human psychology. You must understand how the human mind works and thinks to be a successful marketer. If you don't, you will not be successful. And they teach you how to play and to move on people's emotions, whether it's colors, sounds, visuals, all that. They teach you all that because you got to know that. That's why when you used to be younger, they used to know how to put certain things in there to get the kids to want to buy certain cereals. And then you go to mama, I want this cereal. I want this cereal. That's why when you go in the stores, they got certain things at eye level for the kids to see because I want this. Everything in the store is shelved strategically for a reason. It's just not, they just say, we're just going to put this right here. You notice all the cookies, the cakes, the candies are eye level. Eye level for the kids to see. Because it's not for the grown people. The reason why it is, see, when they market, they want to get you at that age. Because when we get you at that age, we have a lifelong customer. It's no different than selling dope. You try to get them on this stuff here, I know I got a customer forever. You know what I'm for real though. When we dropping that zone in the seats, we already know we got the whole neighborhood down. Ain't nobody coming around here to holler at y'all boys. Y'all got that wall. You know what I'm saying? We got that grade over here. You're not coming. That's how they operated with. So that's why when we mentioned a couple weeks ago, that's how Satan comes. He tries to play to your lust to get a lifelong customer.
Get your soul.
Get you at the end. I need a lifelong customer. That's why he always comes offering what you like and what you want. That's why he comes talking smooth to you. I'm building you up by telling you what you want to do, when in actuality he's destroying you. Because he's not building you up, he's just building you up with lies that will eventually be destroyed at the last day. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at it in that aspect because you're getting what you want. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sir.
You want that 1 Peter 3:18?
3 and 18. Don't pull on her like that, boy. Uh-oh. You trying to stake that shit? Whatever she got. That's that truck. He's gonna take straight at that.
For Hamashiach also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to Elohim, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Ruach, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of Elohim waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was preparing, wherein few that is 8 souls were saved by water. The like figure whereunto even baptized do also now save us.
Not doing what?
Not putting away of the filthy of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward
So when he talking
Elohim.
about I'm going to cleanse you, he's not saying that you're going to put away the filthiness of the flesh, because the flesh always going to be filthy. It's going to cleanse your mind. That's why he say he delight after the law of Elohim in the inward man. It's going to cleanse your mind, because the flesh always going to be filthy. The flesh always going to be like, boy, she'll sleep if you want. Well, you can smoke that weed, boy. Ain't nobody going to know, boy. You go ahead and tell that lie, who going to know? That's what the flesh wants. But once you cleanse yourself, like I said, that's why people sit back, and that's why a lot of Hebrews teach against immersion. Oh, you look at somebody that look at immersion as a light thing, they don't really actually look at what it's actually representative of. It's a representative of what he just said, being put to death in the flesh, but being made alive by the Ruach. Most just look at it, I'm just doing something, I'm getting wet, not realizing, as we done went over before, you're taking part in the covenant. You know what I'm saying? That's really what you're doing, you're taking a part of the covenant. You're saying, yes, all these things I will do. No, getting immersed did not put away the filthiness of the flesh when Mashiach got immersed. He told you in Luke 22, you are those that were with me in my temptation. I could have been tempted. I was tempted to sin just like y'all tempted to sin. But because I was cleansed by the washing of the water of the word in the inward man, and I laid up these words in my heart, therefore I resisted the sin. Come on back to Ezekiel 37. You really wanted that truck?
Ezekiel, Yashar'al 37:24.
Don't read the verse you done already read.
No, here it is.
Go ahead.
And Daoud, my servant, shall be king over them.
See? That's David.
See, that's David.
Right? He said, Daoud, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do it.
Go ahead.
They shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Yaakov my servant, where your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they, their children, and their children's
You say
children.
you'll dwell in this house now.
Forever.
You'll dwell in this place forever. Come on.
And my servant Daoud shall be their prince forever.
They're prince. They're
Forever.
ruler. So what's the first person you think of as a prince? What's the first name you ought to think about? Yashar'al. That's the first thing you can think about. So that you know, and who was the first Yashar'al?
Adam.
Adam. So David did not have dominion over all things. Who was the second Yashar'al?
Noah.
Noah. And what did he give him? Dominion over all things after he destroyed the earth. Which is showing you that Yahushua will have dominion over all things after he destroys the earth. You know what I'm saying? And then those that in him have a right to that same inheritance, right? Go ahead and give me Psalms 2 and 7. Then y'all can go read Revelation chapter 2 on your own time. In verse 24, where the master makes the same promise to you. And what did he tell you after he made that promise to you? What did he say he would give you?
The white stone on there.
No, that's earlier. He did say that. You look at Revelation 2 and 24 after he made, I'm going to tell you what he said he would give you after he makes this promise. Revelation 2 and 7. What did he say?
I will declare the decree Yahuwah has said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen of thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron,
And do what else?
and thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
So guess what he just said? He'd give you the heathen for an inheritance and let you smash them. The master made you that same promise in Revelation 2 and 24. He said if you overcome, he'll give you that same thing. David can't give you that. He didn't promise that to David. But you know what the master said he would give you after that? He said he'd give you the morning star. So you know who he said he gave you, right? Give you eternal life, he'd give you life. Or he would give you Aaron. Or he would give you Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what light bearer, that's what Lucifer means, light bearer. He's going to give you the morning star. In him was the light, and the light was the life of men. So when you overcome, not only are you going to have dominion and rule over all them that hated you, but you'll live forever. Finish Ezekiel.
And he shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of shalom with them.
A covenant of peace with them.
It shall be an everlasting
It
covenant.
will be forever.
And I will place them and multiply them.
I will multiply them
I will set my sanctuary in the midst of
in
them
the midst of them
forever.
forever.
My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their Elohim, and they all shall be my people.
Go ahead and Ezekiel 43 and let's take off. Ezekiel 43 and 5. Now keeping that, who's the sanctuary, right? We talked about the sanctuary the other day, right? The sanctuary is who? Sanctuary is Mashiach, right? Remember you say we have a true minister of the tabernacle, the sanctuary, which Yahuwah pitched and not man. Ezekiel 43, what it is, by verse 6?
Verse 4, 5, and 6.
Go ahead with 5, that's good.
So the Ruach, we got Ruach on the board.
You got Ruach on the board right here, right? Now what's the first character we see right here from Ruach right here? So we got the head, right? We got head right here. For this particular word.
43 and 5.
43 and 5. And what's the next character we have for that? And when we have that there, what else you got? What that means?
Secure.
So you got secure, right? And then we got the cop right here, right? So what that's going to tell you?
Separation.
Fence.
Separation. So what do you think that's telling us about this here? What the Ruach would do?
Go separate.
His first, the people of the Ruach is his first, that's going to be separated.
We're going to come to the head, which is the Mashiach, and he's going to secure us and separate us from sin
Through the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? So there's a thing where he sat back and he said something about being in a secure place, and we still got to hear Psalm 65. We get it in a minute. I'm trying to think of what that verse is. But you'll be in a secure place. You know what it means to be in a secure place?
Safety.
Safety. But you know what else would have you in a secure place? Since we was on the phone with them idiotic niggas last week, somebody give me Psalm 22 and 16. And then after Psalm 22 and 16, Darius, give me Isaiah 22 and about 25. And then I'll just work it through.
If you want right now,
Psalm 22 and 16. 22 and 25.
Yeah, never answer that question.
Elohim of Psalms 22 and 16. For dogs have compassed me.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Who are the dogs? Because they couldn't seem to understand that when we were talking to them. Who are the dogs? Gentiles. You know what Ecclesiastes say about a dog? Said a living dog is better than a dead lion. See, a Gentile who obeyed is better than a disobedient Israelite. See, he tell you that, and Paul told you that, and he say circumcision is nothing, uncircumcision is nothing. But keeping the commandments of Allah.
Is that right? You said in Matthew 15:24.
That's why he called it a dog. That's how we look at him. You know why they call him a dog? You know why they call him a dog? Because they were brute beasts. A dog is a beast. They were carnally minded people. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he called them a dog. Because they were carnally minded. So you a beast to me. Go ahead.
For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They have pierced my hands and my feet.
So what did they pierce his hands and his feet with?
The oil.
On the nail.
The nail.
You read Isaiah 22 and 25. So when we looking at this, the reason why we looking at this here, to be secured in this house or to receive this ruach to get in this house, then you gotta have to be secured by the nails, meaning you gotta have to die with it. Go ahead, sir.
Isaiah 2,
So you got the book,
25.
What you said there?
I'm like, this guy.
Isaiah 22 and 25.
25. Make it 22. I'll give him a chance to get it. Isaiah 22 and 22. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna get them boy ready. I'm gonna be sloppy.
Yeah.
22 and 26.
And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder, so he shall open, and none shall shut, and he shall shut, and none shall open. And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place.
He'll do what?
And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place, and he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house.
You see how he said he'll fasten him as a nail in a sure place? Y'all know what that sure place is?
House.
The house is. Mashiach said he was the house, and he fastened him in a sure place. We don't. What was the stake or the tree symbolizing? According to the law, what would the stake actually been? The tree that he was hung on, what would it be representative of for a sacrifice? The altar. And where's the altar at? In the house. Sure place. He nailed him to a sure place. You know what I'm saying? So we have to turn around and look at it. We need to be nailed to a sure place. Give Romans 6 and 5. She ain't got into it yet. You gotta work with it.
You be hitting everywhere.
No, Romans 6 and 5.
Romans 6 and 5. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection.
Now you see right there, that's that secure place. See, so once you have secured yourself with the head, or you have died with the head, then this will happen. You will separate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, since we mentioned that, Romans 1, verse 3. Romans 1. Now, when you, to be secure, the head, to be secure with the head, or to be secure with the son, what did he just say? He said, I'll fasten as a nail in a secure place. So in order for you to be secure with the head, you have to die with him. When you put the flesh in put the death in the flesh, like we read in Peter, but quickened by the ruach, then now you will have separated yourself. See, when the master said, sanctify them with thy truth, thy word is true. He said, I sanctify myself by the truth. They might sanctify themselves by the truth. So when we read this Romans 1 and 3, what we about to look at, we going to see that the resurrection of the dead and the ruach is what caused us to be separate from everybody else. Which is what we were seeing when we even read that Exodus 15. That it was the blood of the lamb and then going through the Red Sea, which separated us from Pharaoh and Egypt because they got drowned in the sea. But we got through because of the washing and the regeneration of the ruach. So in order to be able to enter into the house, you have to separate yourself. Like that 2 Corinthians 6 say, come out from among them and be ye separate. Where he say, know you not that you are the temple of, what agreement does the temple of Elohim have with idols? For you are the temple of Elohim. For he said, I will walk in them and I will be in them. Well, Yahuwah would definitely not be in an idolatrous temple. So when we walk contrary to the word, or we stubborn and we're an idolatrous temple, I can't walk in that as being that. So you're going to have to secure yourself in death with my son, and then therefore be separated by that, then you can come to my house. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to sit back and look at. Our desire is to enter into this house. Well, the house is not, we were just talking about this yesterday. Every Hebrew law to say this here. I don't dwell in temples made with hands. It wasn't never that he didn't want synagogues or temples. That wasn't the issue. The issue was our people put the temples and synagogues above obedience and faith. You know what I'm saying? He was telling you, I don't live in those. You're my temple, I live in you. You know what I'm saying? But this is what you need to do for you to be able to come in my house. Then I can come in your house. Because if you still got all that, if you walk in my house and you brought 2 whores here, a price of a dog here, you know what I'm talking about? Some adultery here, some fornicating here. Leave him out. Put him out. You can't come on. You You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to try to come grab hold of my altar, talking about have mercy on me, and you brought all this here with you? No, you supposed to took all that there, left that at the front door, and came in here and say, have mercy on me. Then you brought forth fruit for repentance. Now I know what you mean, because you left that out there, you didn't bring it. You know what I'm saying? But what do we try to do? We try to come in the house and bring all this stuff with us. That man like this, oh, you can't come in here. You know what I'm saying? Why do we think that way? Because that's what your slave master told you in Christianity, that, oh, he don't care what you bring. No, they ain't not even there. Just bring all your troubles to the altar. That man said, don't you bring none of that in here. You know what I'm saying? That's what the law said. That man said, don't bring none of that in here. Don't bring none of that. Don't bring none of that in here. This is a Kadesh place. This is a set. Don't you bring that in here. You know what I'm saying? When you come in here, you come right or don't come at all. You know what I'm saying? Just like what little buddy said. Little buddy, like I said, he didn't want to come out and say it. He said, no. No. I know I'm finna go. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he already know it. Like, you confess your sins before you approach the man. You know what I'm saying? Then you approach him. Because he said, he that confesseth his sins and forsakes them will have mercy. See, people love to read that, but you don't read the rest of it. Like, people love to say, oh, you say you ain't got no sin. You say you ain't got no sin. The truth ain't in you. No, that man said, if you confess and forsake them, he is just to cleanse you from all unrighteousness. He said, if you say you ain't got no sin, then the truth ain't in you. If you walk around and say, I've never sinned, we know you lying and going to hell. It's a difference if you done already say, yeah, I was a whoremonger and I used to do this and I used to do that, but I don't do them things no more. Then there's no unrighteousness with you. You done already confessed your iniquities. That's why they confess their iniquities when they got immersed, which is going back to the law. You confess what you done did. Then once you done confess what you done did, you saying that I'm going to die to these transgressions and live to Mashiach afterwards. Therefore, there's no need for us to mention what you done. Because he said, I blocked your transgressions out with a thick cloud. They will not be mentioned unto you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you choose to tell people, this is what I used to do. This is how I used to live. This is the power of what the word is. That's your prerogative. But as far as like, oh, you lying, Lord, like, I'm not going to do that. You done been immersed. That stuff is gone. Now, if you still doing that stuff, then yeah, we got to call y'all. You know what I'm saying? But if you not, why would I mention what you done did before if y'all done forgot? See, that's the difference, right? When y'all forgives, he literally forgets what you done. Unless you put your hand to go back to it. Then he gonna say something to you. You know what I'm saying? He don't be like, I remember that time that nigga lied to me and he worshiped. He don't do that. Only human beings do that. Human beings say, I'm gonna forgive but not forget. Y'all don't do that. If he forgave you, he forget. He said, I toss all your iniquities in the sea, I don't remember them. But he said, if you put your hand to do it, I'm gonna come see you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sir. What I got here? Romans 1 and 3. Romans 1 and 3.
Romans 1 and 3. Concerning his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, our master, which was made of the seed of David, according to the flesh.
Yes, sir.
And declared to be the son of Elohim.
How was he declared to be the son of Elohim?
With power.
With what?
Power.
And what else?
According to the Ruach of set apart Kudash, by the resurrection from the dead.
From the dead. So it's by the set apart spirit. So we have to sit back and realize to get this breath is going by the head or by Yahusha, we will be secured to be separated. You know what I'm saying? That's why the desire to get the Ruach is so powerful, it will separate you from amongst the people. It'll cause a clear and distinct distinction between you and other people. Come on back, Ezekiel. No, you got you some bug juice. Can I have a sip? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. We in verse 5. Finish verse 5.
So the Ruach took me up and brought me into the inner court.
Brought you where?
To the inner court.
Go ahead.
And behold, the esteem of Yahuwah filled the back of the house.
What do y'all think that means when he say bringing me to the inner court and the esteem of Yahuwah filled the house? What would that inner court be? The inner place. Well, the Kadesh is the Kadesh.
Yeah, I was thinking about the inner revelation when he said there need to be no sign because Yahuwah is there.
But he said the esteem of Elohim filled the house when he opened him into the inner court. What's the esteem of Elohim?
The sun?
The sun. So we just looking at it. So the inner court is the seat of your emotions or your lair or your heart. So what would be the esteem of Elohim entering into that? Hebrews 8:7. Make it 5 though.
Hebrews 8:5. Who servant to the example and shadow of our heavenly things as Moses was admonished of Elohim when he
He said he was admonished of Elohim to do what?
when he was about to make the tabernacle.
About to do what?
About to make the tabernacle.
What he told him to do?
For see, said he, that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the
That means
mount.
do it exactly how I showed you to do it. Don't make it how you want to make it. Don't do it how you want to do it. It's going to be important in a moment. Go ahead.
But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by
more
how
excellent.
much also he is the mediator of a better covenant,
A better covenant.
which was established upon better promises.
Better promises.
For if that first covenant had been faultless,
There would have been no place for the second. Go ahead.
for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said
That
Yahuwah,
I do what?
when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah,
Come on.
not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers
Not
in
like
that
the one that
day.
he made with their forefathers.
When
What
I
was
took
the-
them-
What was the difference between the covenant he made with the forefathers and the one now? Exactly. But also, what was the other difference? What was the first one written on?
It was written on stones, it wasn't written on the heart.
There you go. Come on.
Not according to the covenant that I made with the fathers in the day when I took them out by the hand and led them out the land of Yashar'al, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said Yahuwah. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yashar'al after those days, said Yahuwah. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts.
Guess what?
And I will be to them an Elohim,
And what
they
else?
shall be to me a people.
And what else?
And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and
Oh, you know that's a
his
Hebrew
brother,
favorite line right here. New covenant in effect. We don't went over that. I ain't going no deeper than that. Come on.
saying now Yahuwah, for all
Not now
shall
you.
know me.
But know you.
From
What
the
it mean to know you?
You realize?
Do what he said. So if you got the Ruach HaKodesh, if you've been secured by the head to be separated by his Ruach is what's going to tell you. He told you the Comforter, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, shall bring to remembrance everything that I said unto you. That means the word is in you. You wouldn't need nobody not to tell you, don't commit adultery. Don't fornicate, don't worship idols. Don't lie, don't steal. You wouldn't need nobody to tell you not to do that because the word is in you. You already know Yahuwah. That's why they love to quote that 1 John 2:27. You have no need for any man to teach you that same anointing. But nigga, how did you get the anointing for that to teach you? That means somebody had to teach you the word first for you to believe on the man, for you to get that anointing. Well, nobody had to teach you. And all he telling you is ain't nobody got to teach you not to sin. If the word is in you, nobody has to tell you not to sin. The word is already in you telling you not to sin. That's what I was telling that young man this morning. You can't tell me you got the spirit of the living Elohim in you and you commit sin when the book says he that commits sin is of the devil. So you telling me that you got the God and devil in you at the same time. And don't the book say that the Almighty does not commit sin? So you gonna tell me you got the Almighty spirit on you that don't commit sin, but you sin on a regular basis? He say, man, that ain't what I'm saying. I believe, sir, if that's what you're saying. You don't believe that that's what you're saying. Because if the word of the Almighty is written inside of you, that's what's going to direct you and guide you, which will keep you from doing things that are not me. That don't say that you wouldn't be tempted to do it, but you'll sit back and look and say, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I could do it. Because the word will restrain you. Paul told you that in 2 Corinthians 5, the love of Mashiach constraineth us. That means this holds me back. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can go commit a sin, but it's the love for him that you have that will stop you from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Some have been to the point where I was this close to committing sin and I remember, I love it, man. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get him. Somebody who don't have that love for him, if they got that close, they just gonna go ahead and say, go ahead and knock him out. You got to say, nigga, put the blood in your hand. You done twisted it. You know what I'm talking about? All that there. He like to say, you ready? You done get. No, bro, I gotta go to the house. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Want to finish that?
Mm-hmm.
For I will be merciful to the unrighteous in their sins, and their iniquities will I remember no
He
more.
said, I won't remember them anymore.
And then he said, a new covenant he had made the first old. Now that which decayeth and wax of old is ready to vanish away.
Don't you realize that they should sit back and look at that Mashiach came in the personage of the first covenant, but when he went in the grave, he became old and they perished and vanished away. But when he came out of that grave, he was a new creature representative of the new one. You know what I'm saying? The new one that had the power of great eternal life. Why? Because it was inside the inner court. See, that was the difference between the first one. It couldn't enter into a man's heart. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't go into your heart. But the new one could come into your heart. Come on back to Ezekiel 42. We're in verse 6.
Yashar'al, Ezekiel 43 and 6. And I heard him speaking unto me out of the house, and the man stood by me.
The man stood by me.
And he said unto me, Son of man,
Son of man,
the place of my throne,
the place of my throne. Listen what it said. The place of his throne.
and the place of the soles of my feet,
Listen what he said.
where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Yashar'al forever.
Uh-huh.
And my Kudash name
And what else?
shall the house or the bot of Yashar'al no more defile.
Uh-huh.
Neither they nor their kings by their whoredom, nor by their carcass, or their kings in their high places.
Now stop. We got the cop right here for souls, and we're also going to look at feet. Now when we look at this here, right, you know that that's the palm or the palm of the hand or the flat of the hand, right? Now what character do we have right here, everybody?
That's the tail of the mouth.
This is the mouth. And what we got right here?
I mean, the cough is the open hand, but the tail is the mouth.
And then what and what we got right here?
That's the tail.
Oh, that's okay. And then we got No, I got, man, my mind got lost up there. So we got the hand or the palm or the mouth.
Which one you at?
You got the cough.
I thought that was the Gamal. Why you Gamal? When I write the Hebrew letters, I could do Gamal like that.
I mean, Gamal and Pedro are the same.
That's all I have to do. All right.
Now why would this be in when we also look at this here, right?
Stop.
We got a hollow object, a bending object, or a thigh, or a joint, or a hollow of a sling. But we also, I meant this like not just souls, but feet. And we also, that's regal, and that's 3 times according to the pace, or a seraphim, a cherubim, an animal, or a table, or your foot in the leg. Now he just sat back and said that this inner court is the place where I rest the soles of my feet. So this is the place where I rest my hand and my mouth. This is what he tells you, right? Now why would that be important? If he's saying this, you can see it. Now why would it be important that he say this is the place where I rest my hands, or my hand and my mouth? Say this is a place where I rest the soles of my feet. Now keep in mind, what did he tell the master in Psalms 110?
Sit at my right hand.
Till I do what?
Make your enemies my footstool.
Now his footstool is what you do. What you do with a footstool?
You
You rest your feet upon it. Now he just sat back and said that same. Read it again. Now. Read it again.
He said, Son of man, the place of thy throne,
My bad. I apologize.
the place of thy throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Yashar'al forever.
Now, what character we got here? We got a Rosh again, right? So we got the head, and what we got right here?
Gamal means to walk.
To walk, man. And the last one we got with it?
Gamal.
That's what I thought. And that's the head of the shepherd, right? Or the teeth. So when we sit back and we say he's going to rest the soles of his feet, he's telling you that the hand or the palm or the word will give you, the head will cause you to walk and be taught by the shepherd. So what does this make you think about when we actually look at what it means? That's an example of looking at it. It says soles of my feet, but it's actually telling you something else. So when we sit back and we look at where he say he's going to rest at, he's actually telling you how he's going to teach you something. What is it that he's trying to teach us by what hand? What is that, John chapter 7? Is it John 12? Let me see what John 12. Get John chapter 12 there. John chapter 12, about verse 35. Troy, give me Romans chapter 10.
He said 12 verse?
Verse 35, 34 actually. Troy, give me Romans chapter 10 and about verse 14. So we see the sole of his feet is his hand and his mouth. Then we'll deal with soles. Then we're going to deal with his feet. And when we deal with his feet, we're going to see that that's the head that caused the walk to be taught by the shepherd. Go ahead, sir. We got the roll.
John 12:34. The people answered him, we have heard out of thy Torah that Hamashiach abideth forever, and how sayest thou the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is this Son of Man?
Who is this Son of Man?
Then Yahushua said unto them, yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth.
Yeah.
While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may have the children of light. These things spake Yahushua, and departed, and he hid himself from them.
Go ahead.
But thou he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not
He
on
did
him.
all these miracles before them, yet they believed not on him. Just like the Father did all the miracles in Mitzrayim, and they believed not on him. Go ahead.
That saying, Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Master, who have believed our report, and to whom have the arm of
Who
YAHUAH
has
been
the arm
revealed?
of YAHUAH been revealed? Or the hand, right? The yard, right? Who done seen this hand? And we just already talked about that, about being secured in a secure place. He pierced my hands and my feet. So this place that he talking about, his soul, that this is where he rests his soul is that he wants you to be crucified with him, that he might teach you the words of his mouth. See, look at that Romans 10 and 4. You know, the master always kept saying, he that have an ear to hear, let him hear. He that receiveth my word, receive me. He that received me, receive him that sent me. So to dwell in this man's house, the first thing you see is you're going to have to crucify yourself, and you're going to have to hear his word. If you don't hear it, you can't get in. Make it 10 and 10.
Romans 10 and 10. And with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. For the scripture says, whosoever believe on him shall not be ashamed.
So when we see that mouth, you're going to have to confess. Go ahead.
For there is no difference between the Yahudim and the Greek.
Yeah.
For the same master over all is rich unto all that call upon him. For whosoever shall call upon the name of YAHUAH shall be saved.
Whoever do what?
Whoever shall call upon the name of YAHUAH shall be saved.
And what else?
How then shall they call on him on whom they never believed?
How can you call on somebody you ain't never believed?
And how shall they believe in him of whom they not heard?
And how can you believe in somebody you never heard of?
And how shall they hear without a preacher?
How can, ain't that something they got a lesbian on the wall? She's a lesbian. Go ahead.
And then how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them.
How beautiful are what?
The feet of the regal of them that preach the Masorah of Shalom.
So those that preach this was sent back and they were preaching Yahushua HaMashiach to show you how to walk, to be taught of the shepherd. And ain't that something? Ain't that something? And don't that go what we were talking about last night? And I will raise you up pastors that will feed you with knowledge and understanding according to my heart, right? He said, how beautiful are the feet of who?
Of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
Of good things. And didn't Nahum tell us about that? We read about him. He said the same thing too, right? So now we need to see this here, right? Let's see how the head will teach you how to walk. John 14 and 4. Get me Colossians 1 and 22. You know, he told you about that in Exodus. How he said, I'll send you a Malachim that shall bring you in the way, or the Darak, the way to the highest that covers sins. You know what I'm saying? He got to show you how to walk to abound more and more. I think that's what Paul said, right? Yes. Yes. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
1:22.
No, what you supposed to be getting?
John.
You supposed to be getting Luke 24.
I'm in John 14.
Oh, John 14 and 4.
Luke 9, 14 to 4.
Go ahead.
And where I go, ye know, and the way ye know.
He said, the way I go, you know, and the way you go.
Thomas said to him, Master, we know not where you go, and how can we know the way?
What did he say?
Yahushua said to him, I am the way.
He the what?
The way, the truth, and the life.
Go ahead.
No man cometh to the Father but by me.
Go ahead.
If you had known me, you should have known my Father also, and from henceforth you know him and have seen him.
That's good. Get me Ephesians 4 and 17. Go ahead with that Colossians 1 and 22. Give him a chance to get it. Colossians 1 and 22. He said, the way that I go, you would know. So that means the head is telling you, I'm showing you how to walk. That's why he say how beautiful are the feet or the regal. He's sitting there telling you that the regal is the head that teaches you how to walk, how you be taught by the chief shepherd. He told you that in Numbers 27. Raise them up a shepherd so they don't be with sheep without a shepherd. Teach the people the way that they ought to go. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. That rod and that staff directs and teach the sheep where to walk and how to go. So that's also sitting back showing you that the soles of his feet are those that teach his people. That's why he said those feet are beautiful. They teach my people the way to salvation. That's why he sat back and we say when Paul was casting that unclean spirit about that woman, and that woman stand up and scream, she said, that's Paul, the servant of Yashar'al that show us on the way of salvation. What that's that in Acts? You know what I said? I'm talking about? Ready, about Acts 19. I'll get it in a minute. Go ahead.
In the body of his flesh through death to present you Kodesh and unblameable and unreprovable in his sight. If ye continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under Shamayim. Wherefore I, Paul, am made a minister, who now rejoice in my sufferings for you, and fill up that which is behind of the afflictions of Hamashiach in my flesh for his body's sake, which he is the church. Wherefore I am made minister according to the dispensation of Elohim, which is given to me for you, to fulfill the word of Elohim, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and generations.
This secret been hid for a long time. Go ahead.
But now is made manifested to his saints, to whom Elohim have made known what is riches of the glory of his mystery.
Once he done did to make this mystery, you know which way to walk now. Right? And who's the one who's giving that? See, I mentioned Luke 24 because he said these are the things that are written in the Torah of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. You know what I'm saying? So the head is the one that teaches you how to walk. The Mashiach had the one that had to teach you what to do. Go ahead. You good. You ready? Come on, Troy.
Ephesians back over Ezekiel when they were saying his feet walk, when the spirit goes, his wheels turn.
Say wherever the Ruach go, that's where they go.
Ephesians
4 and 17. That's why he said those that are led by the Ruach of Elohim are the sons of Elohim. We go where you go. Because that's what a shepherd does. He directs them with the staff, right? That staff directs them where to go. That staff, symbol of that rod, and that staff is symbolizing the discipline. I'm directing you which way you ought to go. The sheep follow their shepherd. You know what I'm saying? He said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. And the way they know and they go in. You notice a lot of people veer off because he wasn't never your head in the first place. They just go straight. That's why he say straight is the gate and narrow is the way. Those that are his sheep don't never go to the left nor to the right. They keep straight. So if somebody tell me, I know God directed me, but you done veered off this way, veered off that way, you just lied. But he ain't directing you. But he was directing you, you would have never got out the straight path. Go ahead.
This I say, Ephesians 4 and 17. This I say therefore and testify in the Master, that you henceforth walk, not as the Gentiles.
He said that you henceforth walk, not as Gentiles. What did the Gentiles do? The Gentiles do what? What did Paul say Gentiles do? Go ahead. What did he say do? You can read it.
It say, not as of the Gentiles, in the vanity of their
And
mind,
the worthlessness of their own thoughts.
having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of Elohim.
So when you sit back and realize when you walk in your own way, you have alienated yourself from eternal life. You separated yourself from it. Go ahead.
Through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart.
See, it was one thing when you didn't know. It's a whole other thing when you know. Now you wicked. You know what I'm saying? Now you wicked. You know when you go contrary, you just wicked. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Who being past feeling have given themselves over to lasciviousness, to walk and to work all uncleanliness with greediness.
You know what that means? Working lasciviousness is lust. Now you done worked and did all this unclean work because you're greedy. He said back and say, he said, death and hell is never satisfied. See, the eyes of man are never satisfied, so is death and hell. That's what Solomon told you. Because men lust can never be quenched. They give a little bit, they want more. And I want more. And I want more. And you're going to get more fire and more worms. Go ahead.
But you have not so learned of the
He
Mashiach.
said, Mashiach has not taught you that.
If so, be that ye have heard him and have been taught by
And
him,
you've been taught by him.
as the truth is in Yahusha.
Go ahead.
That you put off concerning the former behavior,
That you put off that former behavior.
which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
And do what?
Be renewed by the ruach of your
You
mind.
get a new mind.
And you put on the new man,
A new man.
which after Elohim is created in righteousness and true kudash.
That means you'll be truly separated then because you would have secured yourself. You would have secured yourself with that ruach to separate yourself. Come on back to see the So when we look at him dwelling in the midst, what do we see him where he's talking about the soles of my feet while I dwell in the midst of the children of Israel, and my Kadesh name shall the house of Yashar'al no more defile, neither by the kings of their whoredoms or by the carcasses of their kings in their high places. What do you think this means that they're no more defiled by the carcasses of their kings in their high places? Because we know that the children of Yashar'al worship idols in high places, right? But how is this going to pertain to the Mashiach? Because what is a carcass? A dead body. So you got to realize something. They defiled the land when they put that man up there on that stake in that high place. He said, y'all will no longer do that. See, he come back through here, you're not going to defile it because I'm going to kill y'all anyway. But when you turn around and you look at what he's saying, when he say he dwells in the midst, when you turn around and you look at it, right, Zephaniah tells you how the just YAHUAH is in the midst. Every time after the master resurrected from the dead, where was he at? In the midst of it. Always in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Always in the middle. Every time he popped up, he was in the middle. When you look at the tree of life, where was it at? In the midst of the garden. Every time they're talking about YAHUAH being in the midst. And you know what's in the midst of your body? For all intents and purposes, how the book look at it? Your heart or the inner court. And that's where he want to dwell at. Let's keep on going. Let's see the next thing, because we got to hit the pattern. I don't know the pattern. We get it.
In the setting of their threshold.
The setting of the threshold. So now we need to look at threshold. The setting of the threshold. We still got Psalm 65 with that. So when we look at threshold, what we got right here? No, that's not the word I meant. That I got for this pencil. They got another word here. Yeah, they got soft. A spreading out base and God with a hole. But threshold is still the door. So we might be the one with threshold. But the key thing is doorkeeper though. But that's what a threshold is a doorkeeper. You know what David said something about a doorkeeper? Y'all know what he said about a doorkeeper? David said something about a doorkeeper.
What's Samak then?
Hand on staff, support.
Yeah, and then the pay.
But hold on, we deal with what you got up here. We'll figure out what work it is. What we got right here, everybody?
Blood, water, chaos.
Got that blood, right? And we got that pay again. We got that mouth, we got that word, right? And we got that covenant, right? And then we got that seed, because we got that new. For eternal life. So what we see right here is that the blood or the word will seal to bring you to eternal life through this threshold. And if a threshold is nothing but a door, somebody get me Psalm 65 and 2 minutes. What David said is, he said, I'd rather be a doorkeeper at the house of my Elohim than to dwell in the tents of iniquity. That's what David told me. How many of y'all feel like you'd rather be a doorkeeper than to dwell in sin? You know, a lot of people don't care. I remember homeboy told me that a dude told him that when he was in prison. Older dude would tell him he was down with Yahweh ben Yahweh back then. The dude that was talking to him. And he was talking to a white dude about how we the children of Israel. He said a white dude told him, he said, man, I'd rather mop floors in the kingdom of heaven than to not make it. A lot of people don't feel like that. That white man said, well, I mop floors. I just got to be there. You know what I'm saying? I just got to be there. I just got to be there. Psalm 65 and 2. Give me Psalm 84 and 5. Make it, yeah, 5 is good.
O thou hearest prayer unto thee, shall all flesh come. iniquities prevail against me as for our transgressions. Thou shalt purge them away. Baruch is the man whom thou hast chosen.
He said, Baruch is the man who thou hast chosen. Now he said he'll purge these sins away. He purged the sin away by the blood. Go ahead.
And causes to approach
unto him,
unto thee, that he may dwell in thy
that
courts.
you might dwell in the courts. Where are the courts at in the house? Ain't it in the house? You got an outer court, you got an inner court. You know what I'm saying? You talking about dwelling in the inner court. What's going to cause you to dwell in that inner court? You got to come through the threshold of the door. What did the master tell you in John chapter 10? I'm the what?
I am the door.
I am the door. If any man enter into me, what he going to find? Rest. What he said about the sanctuary is represented of? Rest. So for you to get in that door, you got to be purged by the blood. You got to hear the word. You make the covenant. You become an eternal seed. Keep going on.
We shall be satisfied with goodness of thy house.
The goodness of thy house. What are the good things that's in Yahuwah's house? What's something you can think of the good things that's in his house? Because he said we'll be satisfied with the goodness of his house. Who is the house? What is the house?
I was just gonna say eternal life.
The house is Yahushua.
That table with all the lights and the
The table with the shewbread or his flesh. The candlestick with the lights, which is the ruach. You know what I'm saying? What else is in the house? Mercy seats in the house. You could actually see Yahuwah. You could say he stand before Yahuwah in the Lamb, and his servant's name would be in his forehead, and they will see him and will ever be with him, and the curse will be removed, and there's no death. That's what's in the house. What else is in the house? Aaron's rod that budded is in the house. So that means his children are in the house because fruit is being beared. Wine in the house too, that's the blood, because that's got to be in there. So the sign of the covenant is in the house. You know what I'm saying? You know what else is in the house? The 2 tables of stone or the covenant. The promise of eternal life is in the house. You know what else is in the house? Water's in the house. You know what I'm talking about? What is the water representative of? The ruach is in the house. You go, all these things what you're looking at are all these things that are in the Shiach are why he wants you to come into the house. But you have to make sure that you're right to be able to come into the house. You know, this man say, y'all let strangers uncircumcised in flesh and in heart enter into my house to defile it. He said, you can't. So that's not going to happen. Keep going.
Even of the set apart temple, by terrible things in righteousness wilt thou answer us. O Elohim of our salvation, who are the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are afar off upon the sea.
You already said he's the confidence of all them that are on the earth, even those are far off. That's what Peter told you. He said we call all them in Acts chapter 2. All that's near and far off, all that Elohim should call. Come on to Psalms 84 and 5.
Elohim 84 and 5. Baruch is the man whose strength is in thee.
Blessed is the man whose strength is in Yahuwah.
In whose heart are the ways of them.
The heart is the ways of him, which we already talked about that. The head to walk, to teach you, to enter into the inner court. That means you blessed when this man's ways is inside of you. Go ahead.
Who passing through the valley of Bakar, making a well. The rain, making a well.
Go ahead.
The rain also fill the pools.
Go ahead.
They go from strength to strength. Every one of them in Zion appear before Elohim.
Everybody in Zion will appear before you. Go ahead.
O Yahuwah Sabaoth, hear my prayer. Give ear, O Elohim of Yaakov. Salah. Behold, our Elohim, our shield, and look upon the face of thine anointing. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000.
This man say one day in this. People always say, where's the 1,000-year kingdom at? He just told you. He just told you. He said the kingdom will be for 1,000 years, right?
Yeah.
Read that again, listen.
For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000.
So Psalms 90 say 1,000 years is as a day to his name. Didn't Peter tell you the same thing? Because I always have Bruce ask me where's that in the scriptures about 1,000-year kingdom. He just told you. And what did he say after that?
I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house, a doorkeeper in the house of my Elohim than to dwell in the tents of the wicked.
Now what you think a doorkeeper do?
Watch.
So who he talking about then being a doorkeeper? Talking about the preachers and teachers. They the ones doorkeepers, ain't they? Let's just see what the word is. We did talk about that last week, right?
Before they into the kingdom, they'll be at the door.
It's to stand or to guard the threshold. So you know, there's certain men that's supposed to start and guard the word. Supposed to guard the word. David said, I would rather guard the word, guard the Shiach, than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. So you sit back and look at it, it would be better for you to guard the son, the living Elohim in your heart, than to run with sin. Come on back to Ezekiel. What was the other character you said?
You read all of them except that post.
No, I'm talking about with the other word. It don't matter what you
Oh, it was just the Samach in the paper.
Make a little difference when we talking about dwelling in this man's heart. I still got a little bit of time.
Ezekiel 43:8. In their setting of their threshold by my thresholds, and their posts by my
You
posts,
say their post by my post.
and the wall between me and them, they have even
You
defiled.
say the wall between me and them, they even defile. Now we look at post. So they got a different word on that show. Now we're at the post. And that is just a doorpost or a gate post. So what's the first character we see right here? The olive, right? Again, the first, right? Or the strength, right? What we got after that? The yard, right? Or the hand. And we got the lamar again, right? So we got the teach. So he said, your post is by my post. Now what do you think he means when he say your post is by my post? And the word that we have here is referring to the strength of the first, which is the hand of Yahuwah that teaches. And remember, this is around here talking about your post, their post by my post. And also he say the wall between me and them, they have even defiled my Kadesh name by their abominations that they have committed. Wherefore I have consumed them in my anger. So how do you think he's talking about you have defiled my wall? What is the wall? What verse can we look at to describe where it mentions that he's the wall? Yeah, I'm talking about there's a place explicitly mentioned in the wall dealing with the house. Who mentioned something about rebuilding the wall? Y'all remember who mentioned about rebuilding the wall? Nehemiah was rebuilding the wall. He actually sat on the wall and said, I'm not going to come down from here. You're going to have to come up here to meet me. But it's somebody who had a prophecy about Mashiach, where he strictly said that the wall will be built in troublous times. Daniel told you about it. So when we look at that wall being defiled, we look at how the people killed this man. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at the post being by my post, or the strength, we've already been talking about how this man taught us the word. You know what I'm saying? He was teaching us not to be able to defile the word, but see, we didn't listen. See, let's look at Romans 2:21. All these things, when we talk about, you notice repeatedly that a lot of these words are taking you right back to being taught. Because you have to be taught what to do to enter into the house. But we're going to see something where he say, man, you got to go by the pattern. He going to sit back and we're going to read it in a moment. This man say, I want you to show them the fashion thereof and the ways thereof. And this is the law of the house. I mean, you're going to have to know. He sat back and told you, he said, you have not so learned if you haven't been taught of Mashiach and heard of. He sat back, Paul said, if I rebuild the things that I've destroyed, I make myself a transgressor. As a Mashiach, the minister of sin, Elohim forbid. Go ahead, sir.
Thou therefore hast teachest another. Teachest thou not
He
thyself?
said, you teach somebody else, you ain't taught yourself. What do you say you need to teach yourself?
Thou that preachest a man should not steal.
Does
thou
thou
steal?
Go ahead.
That thou says a man should not commit adultery. Thou, he says, dost thou commit
He
adultery?
say, well, if you sit back and you tell a man don't cheat on his wife, do you cheat on yours?
Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit scarnage?
Sacrilege.
Sacrilege.
Y'all know what sacrilege is?
Pagan worship.
Sacrilege is anything that is idolatrous. What are some of the things that you can think of that would be idolatrous? Everybody here hate idols, don't they? So what would you think something that would be sacrilegious? Doing your own will is a form of idolatry. What's another form of sacrilege? I'm actually an angler in the sun, because I just was talking to you about this yesterday. Covetous is idolatry. How many of y'all seen that girl at the Olympics got Elohim on her outfit? How many of y'all seen that brother with them fringes on, right? You know they're going to hell for being there, right? You know if they abhor idols, but yet they're at an idolatrous event. Y'all know about the Olympics, right? You know where it comes from, right? You know? I'm serious. You don't know? How many of y'all here don't know about the Olympics and where it comes from? You don't know? Who else in here don't know? You don't know? The Olympics is actually the mountain of Olympus in Greek mythology. And on Mount Olympus, that's where the Greek gods resided at. You know what I'm saying? That's where Zeus was hanging out at. Athena, any one of them you want to think about. You know what they did at the first Olympics? They were butt naked. They competed butt naked. I can't recall. They say those rings are symbolic of the continents, but that's idolatry again. So anybody, if they knew the truth and they knew the living Elohim, then they would not have even competed. Which we already know they had to defile the Shabbat just to make it. Because when they have them trials, don't do that stuff during the week. You have to get to the Olympic team, you got to go through the Olympic trials.
I'll read something real quick. It say the gymnasium in ancient Greece.
Oh yeah, that's where they got that movie over there.
Functioned as a training facility for competitors
Listen
in
to
public games.
Go ahead.
It was also a place for socializing and engaging in intellectual pursuits. The name comes from the ancient Greek term gymnos, meaning naked. Athletes competed nude. They competed nude, a practice which said to encourage aesthetic appreciation of the male body and to be a tribute to the gods. Gymnasia, wrestling, were under the protection of Hercules, Hermes, Athens, and Theseus.
Seriously though, I just didn't want to mention that. He had just one, I think Johnny had just said it, I just glossed on over it. But yeah, the gymnasium is where they taught little boys intellectual stuff and then molested them. Because that's what the Greeks used to teach. They said that so who's the dominant man, we would compete in the athletic event, and then whoever lost, then I would conquer you because I would show that I was more dominant than you. Then I would just go ahead and sodomize you.
Naked. They
competed naked. But you notice it's tied to their gods. You know what I'm saying? That's why I have not watched a single solitary moment of them. I don't watch them. Once I started dealing with the word, I stopped watching them. I wouldn't care who was playing. Yeah, I like to watch the niggas run around that track. I like to watch basketball. I don't like it enough to watch when they sitting there worshiping their gods. Now if I say I hate idols, I might well go and get me a pair of Air Max 2016s then. You know what I'm saying? I might as well go ahead and go to Mecca then. I might as well get me a cross then. No, I'm talking about during the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? I'm not watching anything. If Olympics is in the name, I ain't watching. I like to watch track and field. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way. I'm not going to watch the Orlando Magic play. Nor the Washington Wizards play. Just because of the hallmark of what their team name is. I don't deal with Wizards. I don't want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like if the Jacksonville team, like, we're the Jacksonville Wizards. That's the end of that. I ain't watching them. You know what I'm saying? I like the new Jaguar jerseys. I like how they look. I don't like them enough to go buy a Nike jersey and wear them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to wear it. I'm straight on that. You know what I'm saying? I got to get me an NBA jersey now because next season they go to Nike. After that it's over with. They ain't buying them.
Well, basically what you were saying, sacrilege. The Olympics is a sacrilege.
It's a sacrilegious event.
It's an event, a sacrilege festival.
They are worshiping their gods with that. It is a 2-week festival of idolatrous worship. And if you watch it closely enough and you know what's going, if you know Greek mythology and you watch it, you will see that it is interspersed throughout the entire event. Like usually with the opening ceremony, why you think they run around with the torch? That's symbolizing one of their gods. Nike is probably one of the biggest gods of that festival because she's the Greek goddess of victory. And why you think Nike pretty much outfit every single solitary country?
Is it Nike or Nikkei?
Depends how you pronounce it.
Probably in Greek, it's probably more like that.
Probably like that. That's why I said probably like that. But that's somebody's actual name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The dude's name is Adi's Dancer or something like that. Adidas is actually somebody's name. You know what I'm saying? A German dude. This nigga Phil Knight saying, I purposely named my company after this Greek god. I did that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I said, you riding bastards, fly with Air Maxes in, but they got to go. You know, I mean, I know, see, I studied a lot. I took humanities classes, so my history teacher taught me that in 10th grade. You remember Miss Johnson on Turkey Lake? That's what we used to call her. She used to let us call her too. For real though, she used to let her rank. She used to let you rank on her too. She'd be like, say, all right, now y'all going too far. She said, don't get over with it though. Coach Jones used to let you get off too though. No, I'm just saying that because they have the class reunion for all class reunion. Everybody ever went to Eaglewood. Yeah, they planning that for November. But see, Coach Jones let you get off. One time somebody told him he had on some nut hugger shorts. He said, keep it clean. He did though. That nigga was huge too. You remember Coach Jones? That nigga still big like that.
Yeah, I seen
See? Yeah, I ain't seen it still. That's my nigga. Coach Jones was cool. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. We gotta get
It says, "And the wall between me and them, they have even defiled.
They
my
defiled that
name."
You gotta say, oh no, he's still reading Romans 2. So he's been in Romans 2. Okay.
That thou makest thy boast of thy Torah through breaking the Torah, dishonorest thy Elohim. For the name of Elohim is blasphemy among the
See, they have
Gentiles.
profaned my Kodash name with their abomination. Ain't that what it said? He said, you dishonor your Elohim. You sit back talking about you boasting in his law, but you ain't keeping it though. That's what I was mentioning that there. Because Israel like, look, he waking up. If he were woke, that nigga wouldn't be there. I ain't like to. A brother who used to listen in, he don't listen in no more. That brother was 2.5 hours away, and we still ain't seen him in it. And it's been almost 4 or 5 years, ain't it? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, about 3, 4. I want to say about 3. Because you know, we seen your man the other day. And he said, oh, you gonna preach the word without on your head? Yeah, we seen him at the meeting. He said, don't call him by his government name now.
Oh yeah.
There you know. He said, call me Kofi Manu, something like that.
He said, "He's
Something like that.
Egyptian now."
He's Egyptian now. I'm serious.
I know it. That's all.
He was with us one day he came to get us and said he wanted to go preach somewhere at a Christian concert.
Full commitment.
Full retard. So we out there, there's another brother, right? And he wanted to literally go preach in the parking lot at the fair. Like go stand out there where these people got their car parked at the fair and preach the word and tell them they going to hell for not keeping the Sabbath. I'm not messing with the people. Nobody finna be picking no rocks up at me, hitting them with them. Who? You out there bothering the people.
He said, "Stone."
You out bothering the people. Like that. That's what they want to hear when they come from the fair. And the word all he say, you going to hell for bringing us out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, what you think when the people like to say, nigga, you don't get away from my car. I'm gonna break your Sabbath, nigga. Leave them people alone, you know what I'm saying? He literally wanted to go do that. I said, bro, I ain't going to do that, bro. So, you know, he ended up going to him in Plaza. He like, bro, they tithing to you, they throwing pennies at you. I said, this nigga crazy.
Wow, man.
Well, Carl, that's what it was.
He was.
Somebody keeps your pennies out. That's what funny.
You know, we had recorded that too, and he never saw me the footage.
I know it was hilarious.
Because he had a stocking cap on twice, so this nigga gonna preach the word with his head cut. I said, man, I can't tell that grown nigga what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Smooth that stock cap on.
Smooth. Tell my boy, that nigga lost look just like some dead tree branches.
Oh, man.
I ain't lying, I'm lying.
Some water.
No, I mean, but it was a gradual thing though. He was on the word, he put Mashiach down, put the whole word down. Now he rolled with the Egyptian. No, it's not a sad story, it's a great story, because they were supposed to go that way. That was Yahuwah's will, I say praise be to Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, and I was talking about that, because his wife is cool. His wife's cool.
That's the same thing I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's sad, because she gonna go with whatever he go with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what makes it sad. Go ahead, sir.
For circumcision verily profited if thou kept the law, but if thou be a breaker of the Torah, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. Therefore, if uncircumcision kept the righteousness of the law, shall not his circumcision be counted for circumcision? And shall it not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the Torah, judge thee? Who by the letter and circumcision does thou transgress the law?
Yep.
For he is not a Yahudim who is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision which is the outward in the flesh.
In the
but
flesh.
he is a Yahudim
That is
which
one
inwardly.
inwardly.
And circumcision is that
Of the heart.
and in the
That
spirit,
inner court.
and not in the letter.
Go ahead, back to Ezekiel 43. That inner court. That inner court. Ezekiel 43. Come on, inside.
In the setting of the, verse 8, in the setting of the threshold by threshold, and post by post, wall between me and them, they defiled. My kudash name by the abomination they committed, wherefore I consumed them in my anger. Now let them put away their whoredom.
Put away what?
Their whoredom, and the carcasses of their kings far from me, and I will dwell in the midst of them forever.
Don't the book tell you to put your sins away from you? How's that man going to be able to dwell? How you going to dwell in the house? So you can't come in the house if you don't put them sins away. Listen to the next thing he said. Okay?
Thou son of man, thou son of man, show the house to the house of
He say
Yashar'al.
do what?
Show the house to the whole house of Yashar'al.
So when did he show the house to the whole house of Yashar'al?
When you put them up there.
Not only that get John 1 and 8. Say show the whole house to the house of Yashar'al. Show it to him. Because John chapter 2, he said, destroy this tabernacle, this temple, and I'll build it again in 3 days.
Have your attention?
No, you may not.
Have your attention?
John
Library will close 30 minutes at 6 o'clock. Those in ride home,
Anybody need a ride?
all demons will close 15 minutes
Better
at
get on the phone.
5:45. Library will close at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Yeah. You remember the day they get on the intercom? I used to be asleep. I slept a lot of sleep. Sometimes I was sober, sometimes I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But I would sleep nonetheless.
John 1 and 8. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which light of every man that come into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not.
Didn't know him.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Elohim, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of Elohim. And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his esteem, and his esteem.
He said we beheld the word of Elohim was made what?
Flesh, and dwelt among us. And we beheld his esteem, the esteem as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
So that's it. Now give me John chapter 19 and 20. Give me John chapter 7, Troy, verse 1.
John 19:20.
18 and 20.
Yahusha answered him, I spake openly to the world. I ever taught in the synagogues and in the temple, whether the Yahudim always resort.
So if he spake openly to the world, is he not showing in the house? Look at John 7 and 1.
After these things, John said, moving on 7 and 1, after these things, Yahusha walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in the Yahudim or the Jewry, because the Yahudim sought to kill him. Now the Yahudim feast of Sukkot was at hand. His brethren therefore said unto him, depart hence and go into Yehuda, that thy disciples also may see the works that you do.
That they may see the house. What did he say after that?
For there is no man that does anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly. If you do these things, show yourself to the world. For neither did his brethren believe him.
He said that they might be ashamed of all their iniquities if he showed in the house openly. Somebody give me Romans 8 and 1. We'll have to come back to it. When we look at pattern, the word is toknef, right? It's measurement, pattern, or proportion. So Most High willing, we'll slide into that next week a little bit. But when you look at the measurement or the pattern of the house, it's telling you how to walk in the house. Got a cricket?
couldn't run it for about 2 years.
So I don't think. Go ahead, keep on now. You all right, baby? You all right?
There is therefore now no condemnation to them that which are in Yahushua HaMashiach, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach. For the Torah of the Ruach of life and HaMashiach, Yahushua, have made us free from the Torah of sin and death. For what the Torah could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Elohim sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh.
That you might be ashamed of all your iniquities. He sent his son out in this earth and he showed you how you can walk in this flesh and not commit sin. Don't you realize when that earthquake came after he had done died, and what that man said? He said, truly this was the son of Elohim. The people were ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Even when you turn around and you look at Acts chapter 2, when Peter preached the word to them people, they were ashamed. They say, men and brethren, what shall we do? They were pricked in their heart. How could you see this man, knowing this man did not defile the word in any shape, form, or fashion, and not be ashamed at what you had been doing? Because he sat back and said, he put this man, he said, if you got to be crucified again, then you got to be renewed, immersed again, to be renewed unto repentance, you put Mashiach to an open shame. See, he was put to an open shame on the stake. Say he despised the shame and endured it for the joy that was set before him. Because you got to remember, that's a dishonor and a reproach to be hung on the tree according to our law. That's shameful. He bore that shame so you could turn around and you might be shamed. That's why he say, that's why it goes into what he mentioned about putting him on the stake. Show that shame open. See the house. Show it to everybody. And that also going to how this word been preached to all four corners of the earth. Show the word to everybody that they all might be shamed and repent. And he told you that in Ezekiel 36, be ashamed of all your doings, O house of Yashar'al. Be ashamed. That's why he said in Jeremiah 3, he said you got a whore's forehead. You refuse to be ashamed. That's one of the biggest attributes of a whore. She has no shame in her behavior. She doesn't feel like, you tell them they did something wrong, oh well, I done it now. That's a sign of a whore. You know what I'm saying? That's a lack of, that means you have an unrepentant heart. You're not even ashamed at what you've done. When you have an oh well, or this, that, that, you say that and you know you did something wrong and you know it wrong, you'll never be saved because you're proud. Because you refuse to be ashamed. When you done did something, you are ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm talking about? She was just telling me that the other day about a situation. She said, I was ashamed. Ain't even want to, when you shame, you don't even want nobody to know because you don't even want them to look like, really? Because you know you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? When you shame, it's not that you don't want nobody to know because you're just trying to cover it up. Like this here, right? Me selling rocks, I know my auntie would have been a lot out of it, shame. Because she'd have looked at me like this here. Well, I know you know better than this here, boy. Just shaming. I was ashamed that she was dead. Now what that tell you? You know what I'm talking about? When you shame the son, that means 99.9% of the time, you know what you're going to do? You ain't going to do it no more. When he came up on David, David was shamed. He said, that man is you. He said, oh, boy. You know what I'm talking about? And guess what? Being a whore is not regulated to just being a woman because men are, you stubborn, you obstinate, you refuse to repent. That's why when you look at people that got whores forehead and refuse to be ashamed, that goes into what we were talking about in John chapter 6. About how he wasn't begging them to come get the word. I'm going to go somewhere else and get it. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to do this and get it. I'm going to do this and get it. I'm going to do this. You refuse to be ashamed. Because no matter what, any doorkeeper you come to, they're going to say the same thing that the last doorkeeper said. You ain't going to find no doorkeeper or Yahuwah that's going to say anything different than the last doorkeeper you met. He ain't going to be no less hard than the last doorkeeper. Every one of his doorkeepers going to be exactly the same. He said they'll have one heart and one way that they all might fear me. Ain't going to be no difference. You know what I'm talking about? So you can run and hide and go look all you want, you still going to hell because actually, you know what they're telling you. You don't want the word. Finish that out. We ain't going to go into the details. What you got in Romans? No, you done in Romans. I'm talking about Ezekiel 43.
Thou son of man, show the house of Yashar'al, that they may be ashamed of their sin, and let them measure the pattern.
Measure the pattern.
And that they be ashamed of all they done.
He said, if they be ashamed,
show them the form of it.
Show them the son then.
The form of the house, and the fashion thereof.
Reveal it to them.
And the goings out, and the comings in.
Didn't he tell you that doorkeeper, he said, I'll lead you out and bring you in? See, we'll deal with that this week. Go
and
ahead.
all the form thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and all the form thereof,
You know, they said all the ordinances and the forms, all the things that you got to do to abide.
and all the Torah, and write it in their sight,
And all the law and write it in their
that
sight.
they may keep the whole form,
That they might keep all the sons
and all the ordinance, and do them.
and do it.
This is the Torah of the house.
This is the instruction of the house.
Upon the top of the mountain,
Upon Mount Zion.
the whole limit thereof round about shall be set apart.
Praise Yahuwah for Yahusha HaMashiach. We're stopping right now. We'll deal with that this week.